healthy life.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
It's bigger, better, and bubblier than ever. Carolina Cider Fest returns to the heart of downtown Asheville on Saturday, October 21st. Now at McCormick Field. Sample the latest and greatest hard cider, mead, apple wine, and seltzers while enjoying artisanal food, live music, and fascinating workshops. Get your tickets before they sell out at carolinaciderfest.com. That's carolinaciderfest.com.
AutoStar family dealerships need your car today, and you can get cash today for a clean, late model vehicle. Listen, AutoStar is always paying more than the big box retailers, and they're paying it now. Deal with a real, local, trustworthy live person and get paid top dollar for your vehicle the day you arrive. Ain't no waiting weeks to get your check from AutoStar. Sell your car online right now at AutoStarUSA.com.
Buy your next car from an AutoStar.
Vehicle must have a title at hand. Same 85 is 24 hours from valid seller's agreement. Checks will be issued for vehicles in equity only.
What's up, people? This is Cam Jordan, all-pro defensive end with the New Orleans Saints. Join me on my new podcast, Off the Edge with Cam Jordan.
There's pressure, and he'll go down. And that is going to be Cam Jordan. They can't stop it.
In episodes each week, I'll bring you a different perspective of the game through the lens of my 12-plus years in the NFL. Some of the game's biggest stars will also join me to help you become a smarter football fan. Listen on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's the Asheville Turkey Trot 5K and Gobble Wobble, Thursday, November 23rd in downtown Asheville. The 23rd running of this great event starts at 9:15 Thanksgiving morning with the Gobble Wobble 1 mile fun run starting at 8:30. Part of the proceeds benefit Manna Food Bank. Last year, over 2,000 runners helped create 24,000 meals for Manna during the holiday season. So before you hit the buffet, come out and hit the streets. For more information and to get signed up, go to AshevilleTurkeyTrot.com. AshevilleTurkeyTrot.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeart Media, Asheville.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Dollar. That's dollar. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raidered. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingalls studio.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. It is
Football Friday.
Yeah, it's back once again, and we've got all your picks for the weekend coming up on the program. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400 ESPN. Asheville heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We can be seen in the Sportsocracy in the Ingalls studio, live on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat.
I'm a bit of a bitterman today.
Why?
Because I gave you a parlay yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I put a bill on it. If you don't believe me, I'll send it to you. Would have paid me a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And it had the Jacksonville Jaguars over Travis Etienne, James Madison under the points there, Rice in the money line as a 7-point dog.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris Olave touchdown. Oh, shit! Damn the devil! No! And he dropped one with at the end of the game. It was that close. Oh, shoot! I was so angry.
So close.
I was so angry.
I still don't know that you've hit one of those.
I have. I've hit a couple of them over the years.
Okay.
Usually it's the ones where I go lighter. It's a 4-leg parlay that pays you $60. I don't want to do that. I want to go fast.
Right. We want one of these big old biggins.
I want to go fast.
Well, I'm sorry your parlay didn't work out last night.
You know what else didn't work out last night?
What's that?
Derek Carr.
Well, no.
If you're a New Orleans Saints fan, I know we have a lot of those that listen to this show, and frankly, I want to hear from you because I want to know how you feel about this 7 games into the season as you're sitting 3-4. I know a lot of you blame Pete Carmichael, and I understand why you do because I'm not going to lie to you. 4th down last night, I'm looking at the way they lined up going, I wish I could quadruple down on this parlay that I know exactly what you're getting ready to do. Because you had Chris Olave isolated on top of the formation, Monteric Brown, the backup that I told you about yesterday, lined up on him, and Derek Carr throws it to the inside. You threw it to the one place that you couldn't throw it to. Now you're going tight on the boundary, which I don't really understand. Complimentary football, you got to get to the inside hash to throw that back shoulder fade. That's like elementary school football. But, okay, you played the hand you were dealt. I just want to know how you feel watching this quarterback that was the great hope of your franchise, that now in the course of 2 weeks I have seen scream at your offensive coordinator twice. I've seen him scream at your star running back a handful of times. And then last night he went after Chris Olave too, who is your number one, no doubt, franchise player. This ain't working.
Yeah.
And I think he's a lot of it.
You think it's Derek's fault?
I don't think he's acclimating to this. And I think this attitude that he has, it doesn't play. All right? I mean, I get being the fiery leader and things like that. When you're doing your job, you're not. This is the Bill Belichick thing, which we're going to talk about that later on today. This is the Bill Belichick thing all over again. When you're winning, you can be the fiery guy that gets up in somebody's face and points a finger and screams and yells. When you're playing the way Derek Carr is, you're just a jerk.
Yep. Colin Green says, we're a clown town, a BS excuse of a team. Derek Carr blames everyone except Derek Carr about his problems. The line is hilarious. Pete Carmichael is a joke. Yeah, that sums it all up.
I don't know that I could have said that any better if I tried. By the way, did anybody else notice that I'm reasonably sure Sean Payton was in that crowd last night wearing face paint?
Really?
They showed a feller that was there with his spouse, and he was all New Orleans Saints'd up, and he had the makeup on, and I went, that's Sean Payton. That's Sean Payton.
Well, he thought he'd go pull for a team that could actually win a game.
Oh, shoot.
Michael Mulcair in the YouTube comments says at times Derek Carr looks good. Other times he looks like a fan playing quarterback.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. You went after Derek Carr. And I started thinking back last night as I was watching this game because the Jets were after Derek Carr. Obviously, I'm a lifelong Jet fan. And I always thought the interaction was weird because they made the play at Aaron Rodgers. They didn't know exactly where that went. Then he comes to New Jersey, and every bit of it died on the vine. As soon as Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas met with him, it was over. It was never spoken of again. And I couldn't stop thinking about, is this why? Is this why? Because it's not the play. I mean, he's been a quarterback that deserves the money he's getting. I mean, right now he's 19th in the NFL in QBR. 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, which is mediocre at best. But this is who he is. I mean, he's not grossly worse than he was in Las Vegas. So why do I have such a different impression of him right now? And I think I know the answer to that.
Because it looks bad, right? It looks bad.
But it's always looked bad in New Orleans. This, to me, looks worse than it did with Jameis Winston and with Taysom Hill and Andrew Dalton. This feels worse than that, and I think I know why.
Okay.
Because you told me this was the piece you were missing. You said this is what you needed to be the best team in the NFC South. This is a super winnable division, and you have brought in a petulant little child. That every time he gets hit, something's hurt. Did you notice last night that every time somebody touched him, he laid on the field like, I couldn't stop seeing Peter Griffin like,
He's just taking his lumps, right? He's off. It's another one of those, it's not my fault, right? It's somebody else's fault. It's Trevor Penning's fault for missing the block, or it's, Alvin Kamara's fault for not picking up the blitz, which saw a highlight of one of those plays earlier today. Yikes, Alvin. You got to work on that, buddy. But
and now George Cook has a great point in the YouTube chat. He said, let's not put all the blame on Carr. His offensive coordinator's terrible. The offensive line gives him 2 seconds to throw the ball. I got that. I understand that. And if it wasn't for the screaming at Pete Carmichael and the screaming at Alvin Kamara and the screaming at Chris Olave, I don't think I would be saying this right now, but you were brought in here to be the savior of the franchise. And do you know why you have 2 seconds to throw? Because no team I have watched you play has any fear of you whatsoever. Chris Olave is an elite deep threat in this league. No fear. None. Jacksonville had none last night. You want to know why? And I saw a headline that said Jacksonville, I think this was on Outkick, that said New Orleans comes back from the dead and then Jacksonville immediately buries them.
Yeah.
You want to know why they came back? Because they started laying back, and as soon as they did and Derek Carr had a minute, all of a sudden he could move the ball down the field. They did it twice.
Mm-hmm.
All I got to do is send pressure at you. I feel like the tape on New Orleans is out, and all you have to do is send that extra blitzer. They can't pick it up. Derek Carr gets rattled, and now you're in a downward death spiral that leads to exactly what you saw last night.
Yep.
Because if you didn't watch that game, you would think, looking at the score, this was close. This was not close.
No, it was.
I never for 1 second thought New Orleans was even in their class.
Mm-hmm.
Then Jacksonville lays back, and I go, uh-oh. I was sculpting this opening manifesto. I did it 3 separate times last night because the beginning was going to be, Trevor Lawrence is blah, 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 and we're going to get to that in the next segment. Then it went to, oh, God, Doug Peterson is going to allow New Orleans to come back at home and beat them, and it's the same old Jaguars. Then I saw the last few drives. Alvin Kamara is told you're running a delayed option route. That's the call. It's not on Alvin Kamara. Is he supposed to get a shoulder into him? Yes. He's also supposed to get out into the flat to be the check down. That is a play problem. That's not an Alvin Kamara problem. And now I just feel like this is a bad marriage. I feel like either Pete Carmichael or Derek Carr has to go.
Absolutely.
And it's not going to be Derek Carr.
No.
But does Dennis Allen have the huevos to do this?
No.
Because you have to. If you don't, I'll go ahead and tell you. You and the Carolina Panthers are in the same boat. You're the 2 teams that are not winning this division, and the battle for the NFC South starts this weekend with the Bucs and the Falcons.
Yep.
Because that team cannot win this division.
Mm-hmm. Look, Derek Carr, I've said for a long time, is okay at his job. He's not great. He sometimes is good, but I very rarely think we've ever seen him be great. He comes into a situation where the offense already sucks, right? And you got Pete Carmichael out here making things worse game by game, and he's been doing it for 15 years.
Well, I was going to put a Pete Carmichael graphic up on the YouTube stream. As soon as I typed in his name, he's aged about 40 years since he got to New Orleans, and I went, I don't know, because now you look like a middle-aged man.
Right.
That I don't think anybody knows what you look like.
But, I mean, of course he's upset, right? Derek's upset with how this is going as well.
I think they're all upset.
Of course
Chris
they are.
Olave spent, and Eat and Sleep Football said this in the YouTube chat, he spent the entire night with his hands out like this, just going, I don't know what the play is right now. I bet I saw him do that 10 times, where he looks at Derek Carr like, I got nothing. And then he would just line up in formation, and sometimes he would run a route, sometimes he would just kind of run 5, 6, 7 steps and stop.
Mm-hmm.
It's dysfunctional. Dennis Allen should never have been brought back here. We said that in the offseason. That was the only thing that made me think New Orleans wasn't going to win this division.
Yep. Because
on talent alone, you have it. But now you've got a discombobulated offense. Alvin Kamara, yeah, he does things. He caught 12 passes last night. What do you think about what I just said? A running back caught 12 passes last night.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me you're check down Charlie without telling me you're check down Charlie. Because that's what I saw.
But you have to be, right? If the pressure's getting to you and you have no time to throw,
you have to adjust. You have to do something that will give somebody the fear of anything over the top.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is one of those things.
But that's the thing. If you can't get that blocker in there, then I can't throw it down the field.
No, I can bring in whether it's Kamara staying in, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely detest when people say what you just said. And it's not your fault.
What do you mean?
You don't have time. Well, the reason you don't have time is because nobody's scared of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you want to know why? Because your best offense is number 7. Bring in old BYU Taysom Hill. Let's see him run that power counter. Let's go. That's like 1974 football.
Right.
You want to know why your offense has no rhythm whatsoever? because I never know who's going to be calling the play. This has been stupid for years. It was stupid with Sean Payton. It's really stupid now because instead of getting Sean Payton, who I do think is he's a plus offensive play caller in spite of what we've seen in Denver. Pete Carmichael is a jag. I'm going to steal that Steve Smith line. He's just a guy. He is a dude wearing a windbreaker and a hat. Nothing special. He's got the job, but he ain't winning you games. And I see you in these 2-yard situations to where you bring in a new quarterback, you got a new voice in the huddle, you got a new cadence, then you bring in Derek Carr. Did you notice that the play after Taysom Hill came in every single time last night was either net neutral or a loss? Every single time. That's not an accident. This is not reinventing the wheel. You have a deep threat. As long as you have a deep threat that's as good as Chris Olave, there is a solution somewhere. And you've got to pop them one way or the other. You keep sending those 5-6-man blitzes at me. I get Chris Olave over the top, who, by the way, was playing on the opposite side of the field virtually the entire night. You have a fourth-string corner on the outside replacing Tyson Campbell, who's their number one corner. You isolated Chris Olave on him, I could count on one hand the number of times it happened.
Right.
And then I hear Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit, oh, he's done such a great job tonight. Yeah, because he's been on Rashid Shaheed the vast majority of the night. It's maddening. This team is way too good to look like this. And I put every bit of it at the feet of Pete Carmichael, Dennis Allen, and Derek Carr.
Yes.
And I get why Olave's mad. I get why Alvin Kamara's mad.
They're all chirping at each other because nobody wants to say the one thing that needs to be said. Or at least the person in charge doesn't want to say the one thing that needs to be said, right? This all falls on Dennis Allen. To go, the offense ain't working, Pete. I know we've got a long history together, brother, but we got to make a change here. Ronald, it's your time to come up. Ronald Curry, time to come up and start making some play calls. Let's see what you can do because we've got a chance here.
Oh, you still got a chance. Even at 3-4 in the division.
Of course.
You still have a chance to win this division.
But will he, is the question.
I don't know.
Will he do it? Will he finally make that call? I have no idea.
I have no faith in Dennis Allen to make the right call here. And I understand, if I was a Saints fan and I went into this season expecting one thing, and this is what I got, I understand why so many of you have messaged me over the course of the last 12 hours. I get it. I'd be mad too. And you should be.
George Cook in the YouTube comments says, let's play the fun game of who gets fired first. Is it Carmichael in New Orleans or is it Joe Barry in Green Bay?
Can I say neither? They both get fired the day after the season when neither one of them make the playoffs? Which is unfortunate because both of you are good enough to be in the playoffs, and you have a coach that won't pull the trigger on the thing that 99.9% of us see.
Fair enough. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Jacksonville Jaguars come out with the win, so they're 5-2 now. 31-24 win. The offense got into the end zone. What about the play of Trevor Lawrence? Does the Golden Boy show us something last night? We'll talk about it next. The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan. The Beast Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zack with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The iHeartRadio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge is back. Just log on to WWNC.com and go to contest, and you can sign in to make your picks. Each weekly winner wins a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing. Make your picks now.
say goodbye to retaking medicine every few hours. Buy Mucinex DM to get cough and chest congestion relief for 3 times longer than typical 4-hour cough and chest congestion medicines. That's 3 times longer relief for chest congestion and cough. Nothing lasts longer. Among OTC cough and cold medicines, use as directed.
Summit Dental is accepting new patients. At Summit, they submit insurance on your behalf and provide you with estimates, so you have everything you need to make an informed treatment decision. They also work with Care Credit, and they're happy to help you apply. Care Credit helps you pay for out-of-pocket healthcare expenses. See why Summit Dental has so many 5-star reviews on Google. Book today at AshevilleSummitDental.com. In-house savings programs are also available. Book online at AshevilleSummitDental.com.
Sorrell's Garage and Service is your one-stop car care, offering alignments, oil changes, brakes, North Carolina inspections. Call 926-0385 to schedule your appointment with excellent customer service to handle all your automotive needs. Enjoy a delicious meal while you wait at J Creek Cafe. Michael Sorrell's Marathon, your one-stop shop servicing Waynesville and Maggie Valley.
Cullowhee is the place to be on Saturday, October 21st, as WCU football takes on Furman for Heroes Day. First responders and those who have served or currently serve in the military will receive free admission. Advanced ticket sales start at just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. Kickoff is at 2:30 p.m. at Whitmire Stadium on the beautiful campus of Western Carolina University. For tickets, visit cattlemountsports.com or call 800-34-GO-WCU. Go Cats!
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned in one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. This is
Football Friday.
And we're mopping up from last night's Thursday night football game. And
man, now that I quit smoking, it's hard to get up for that raspy Football Friday. I think Tank's figured that out, like, hey, do it 11 times a day.
The Football Friday?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got to warm you up for the bangers.
Oh, you don't have to warm me up this week because I got more dogs than the crazy lady at the end of your neighborhood.
Nice. Nice. All right, last night, 31-24. The Jacksonville Jaguars over the New Orleans Saints. And, hey, you got a beast for the night?
From last night?
Yeah.
I do.
Let's do it.
Beast of the Night. Brought to you by Monster Brewing. The Beast Unleashed.
I feel like it would be easy to say Travis Etienne here.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
No.
The Beast is Trevor Lawrence.
Really?
I feel like I have to say what I'm getting ready to say.
Okay.
First of all, people took some things I said on social media way out of text that I was saying Trevor Lawrence was bad or no. I think I'm just not understanding exactly what it is that Doug Peterson is doing. And now Trevor Lawrence is finding that will to win even when he's not necessarily put in the right position to do that. In the YouTube comments, it's being said, why is Jamal Agnew playing so many snaps?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know when you have Christian Kirk, who was really good last night, Calvin Ridley, who was really not good last night, but Trevor Lawrence on one leg was your leading rusher. You know why? Because New Orleans looked at him and said, we're going to leave no linebackers over the middle because we're not scared of you rushing, and they didn't adjust to that the entire night.
Mm-hmm.
The entire night they didn't adjust to that.
Mm-hmm.
And Trevor Lawrence, that's the kind of performance I want to see. It's not gaudy in the stat line. He's never going to be. I have wrapped my brain around this over the last 3 weeks. He's never going to be, hey, I'm putting up gaudy stat lines. He's not going to be Pat Mahomes. But he's taking a team that I still don't think has really gelled to the point that I expected them to.
Mm-hmm.
That game shouldn't have been a game at any point last night. You let New Orleans back into this. And then what Trevor do? He held
the door.
He held a play in the bag of because I want you to. I'm going to not walk you through this. I'm going to walk the average football fan that probably did not think about what I'm getting ready to say. The backbreaker play last night was what? Christian Kirk runs a little in and out, little double move right there on Tyrann Mathieu. He knows he's faster than Tyrann Mathieu. That had been there all night long. Trevor Lawrence has done what all night long? Oh, you have no linebacker there? Cool. When things break down, I'm going to run right through it. I'm going to convert first downs. I think he ran on his 8 carries last night. I think he ran for 5 or 6 first downs. So you've done that all night long. I know you're doing it. You're going to over-adjust at some point, and they did. They did. He runs the play. It might have been a brilliant play called by Doug Peterson. I have no idea. But Trevor was the one that looked it off, got Tyrann Mathieu to bite on the fake to the outside. Then Christian Kirk gets to the inside, and it's foot race. That is the play I want to see a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence make. It was flawless. From a talent evaluator standpoint, that is the play that you're looking for from a quarterback. In crunch time, you got to manipulate the safety with your eyes because he's playing on the inside. I know I'm running double move. I need to get this to a foot race. And that's exactly what he did. Christian Kirk ran a beautiful route. I'm not trying to diminish what he did. But I see the play. I see the guts. That's a guy I can get behind. If I'm Calvin Ridley and last night I have 1 catch for 5 yards, in spite of the fact he almost had the best catch of the year, and I'm still not 100% sure he didn't catch it. That's the guy I can look at and go, all right, tonight wasn't my night. Next week will be. Because that guy's going to find a way. I didn't do it this week. Christian picked us up. Next week's going to be my week. Jamal Agnew had a night. Next week's going to be my week. And I look at the difference between what I saw out of Derek Carr and what I saw out of Trevor Lawrence. That is the definition of elite quarterback versus just a guy. This is going to be a theme of this show because we're going to talk about this a lot. Derek Carr's just a guy. Trevor Lawrence is the guy I can get behind. In a night that I did some things that I shouldn't have done, that allowed a team that shouldn't be in this game to get back in it, he led us to victory because he wasn't going to lose.
Right.
I'm out here playing on 4 days with a bulky knee, and yes, they talked about the brace too much, but you had to because it was the story of the night.
Yeah, it's the first time he's ever played with a brace. You don't know how a guy's going to react to
and
that.
It was the story of the night. It was everything you want to see out of that quarterback.
It's your best beast of the night so far. I enjoyed that. Thank you.
Well, I mean, Trevor is...
and it's good that it worked out to be a guy that you've kind of hammered, or at least got criticized for hammering.
Yeah, because people don't listen to what I say. Exactly. They listen to what they wanted me to say.
Of course.
He has not, in large part, lived up to the billing. Am I saying that is his fault? No. He got absolute blip-eared the first year because you had the worst coach in the history of the NFL. Now you've had 2 years with Doug Peterson. There's been a lot of shifting parts. Because you've moved things on that offensive line. You've moved things in the receiver corps. This year you add Calvin Ridley, which is another weapon that he's got to figure out how to get the ball to. The running game, yes, I know Travis Etienne is doing great things for your fantasy team. I want you to really go back. Are they actually running it well, or are they just running it in the end zone? Because there's a big difference about that.
Yeah. Or are they just running it at the most opportune time?
They're just running it a great deal, and it's falling in the end zone. And Travis Etienne, that kid runs hard. That kid runs fast. And there is a reason that Trevor said, hey, we should have him.
Absolutely.
It's still clunky. There were still times last night that you go, what are you doing? But Trevor has that will, and he's not going to be defeated.
Yeah.
And so that leads me to a question that I've been rattling around in my head since last night. We talk about where quarterbacks fit in terms of pecking order and ranking and things like that.
Okay.
I think all of us can universally agree that the 1-2 in the NFL are Pat Mahomes and Joe Burrow.
Yes.
How many other quarterbacks would you take over Trevor Lawrence right now? The way he's played for the last month.
I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it. Wouldn't be many.
I don't have one.
You don't have any?
I don't have one.
That's a good point.
Who's it supposed to be?
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff's higher than you want him to be.
I get it, but, I mean, he's next in that line. I mean, because you look at, like, Jalen Hurts.
No way.
I don't know that I'd want that.
No way. Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa, who we're going to talk about later in the show, they're both in offenses that are earmarked for them. I'm not sure Jacksonville has
would
even
probably be up there.
You would take Tua net neutral. I put you both on the same team. You're telling me you take Tua Tagovailoa over Trevor Lawrence? Because I'm about to ask you if you're smoking crack.
Satisfied Browns fan says P.J. Walker over Trevor Lawrence. Thank you. So,
yeah, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. For me, right now, if I had to win a game, I look at that version of Trevor Lawrence and go, that's the guy I want. He's not going to put up gaudy stats, but at the end of the day, is the number in my column going to be higher than the number in your column?
Neutral team. I don't have Tyreek Hill with.
Yeah. See, you don't get Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle while I have Jamal Agnew.
Well, I mean,
and yes, I know I just said the fourth receiver. I get it.
It'd make a big difference for me.
Oh, no kidding. No kidding.
No, all things even, you're right. I mean, I would take Lawrence.
He's in the top 5 regardless of even the most down on him has to look at him and go, you're a top 5 quarterback in this league right now.
Yep.
Because I'm taking you over Josh Allen, no doubt. And I really hope Asheville Police Chief David Zack is not en route here because I don't want him to yell at me when he gets here.
Let's have some. Let's have a tip of the cap to the defensive touchdown last night. Foye Aluakon getting the tipped pick 6.
Dog.
Let's go.
Now
I like this Jacksonville Jaguars team.
I do too. And I'm back to the. I'm not sure that Jacksonville's not going to be the 1 seed in the AFC. I look at everybody else's schedules and I look at theirs and go, yeah, you've got some tough matchups, but look what's around it.
Mm-hmm. You got to stay healthy and you got to stay smart, right?
Yeah, I'll give you an example. All right, 2 weeks. Well, not 2 weeks. They play the Steelers this week in Pittsburgh. You're on a 10-day layoff. You're on a 10-day layoff before you play Kenny Pickett. Yeah, I'll give you one guess where I'm going to lean in that one. Next game is the San Francisco 49ers. There's a bye week there. Oh, you play the Bengals. Well, you get the Texans right before that. And you do go Bengals, Browns, Ravens. That's tough. On the backside of that, Bucks, Panthers, Titans. Yeah, that should be 3 really easy wins.
Mm-hmm.
The Jacksonville Jaguars, and I said this, and then I came off of it when I saw them lose to the Houston Texans because it just gave me the angina, and I wasn't strong enough in my conviction to stick with what I had said.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a team that is going to win a game that they're not supposed to, and I'll bet you it's against San Francisco in 3 weeks.
Okay.
They're going to be the 1 seed in the AFC, and you're going to have to go into Duval and beat them. I'm not ready to plant my flag if they're going to the Super Bowl. I'm just saying, I think they are going to end up with the best record in the AFC.
I was going to say, problem is, I think I would take everybody in that game against them. I mean, like if
you say everybody,
like Kansas City, I would take them.
Kansas City has to come to Duval.
I would take them. Yeah, because
I don't know that I would.
It really doesn't matter to me.
Well, because you're stuck on the fact that they've never had fans there.
No doubt.
Yeah, you get an AFC Championship game there, and guess what? They're going to come out of the woodwork. And they've been drinking Busch Lights and combing their mullets for about 15 years. That place will be loud and proud.
We shall see. We know the building can get loud. We've just never heard it happen for a Jacksonville Jaguars game.
You've never heard it for a Detroit Lions game either. You want to go into Ford Field?
Not necessarily.
There you go. Can't really have one without the other.
Mm-hmm. And it'll probably come down to that point where I'll doubt them as well.
Holy good Lord. I mean, I'm a fan of a team that has playoff aspirations. Can you imagine a Jacksonville Jaguars Detroit Lions Super Bowl? Every advertiser would go, what is happening? What is happening right now?
It actually might be good. I mean, it actually might be one of the most watched games ever.
The game could be incredible.
Yeah.
I believe in Jacksonville.
When it's not the same old teams, I feel like interest raises.
You know, that same old team. There was a team that they were around for a lot of years. Dynasty, probably the greatest dynasty in the history of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Now they've fallen on hard times. Well, now insiders around the facility, they're telling you that old Jeremy might have just been right. I'll tell you what I'm talking about after this break.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Still cranking out some raindrops into the afternoon and early this evening. If it's Friday night football, just some isolated showers are possible. I think most of us are dry and not much rain at all. If you get a shower, it is not going to last long. So still a shower, thunder shower left over this afternoon, a little breezy, highs in the low 60s. Tonight, small chance of a shower early, breezy and chilly overnight, 43, 30s in some spots. Sunshine comes out tomorrow and Sunday. Highs will be in the mid to upper 60s. Ray Stajic, a Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Mucinex Fastmax Kickstart.
Say goodbye to retaking medicine every few hours. Buy Mucinex DM to get cough and chest congestion relief for 3 times longer than typical 4-hour cough and chest congestion medicines. That's 3 times longer relief for chest congestion and cough. Nothing lasts longer. Among OTC cough and cold medicines, use as directed.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand. The best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
Hey, if you're thinking about getting the latest iPhone, check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. Yeah, you get the new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium. Then again, next year you get the latest iPhone. Every year. Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. To learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. That's pound 250 and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slowed. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dialed text message from iHeartMedia.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Jeremy, you acted like this was common knowledge, but I don't feel like it is, because I don't remember ever reading this before. So Tommy Townsend is hurt this week for the Kansas City Chiefs. Tommy Townsend's the punter. There's a chance that he's not going to be on the field to play, so what are they going to do about punting? It's Patrick Mahomes. I didn't even know he was the backup punter for them. Apparently, Patrick Mahomes was a punter in high school. Had a 37.8-yard average on 29 kicks, and he is the only backup to Tommy Townsend. So we could be seeing him do it all this weekend.
I'm going to bet you don't. I'm going to bet you if Tommy Townsend couldn't go, there's going to be a whole mess of going for it on fourth down.
You think so? You don't think they'll put him out there just to kick one?
And do what?
I mean, I would.
No way. Because what happens if you kick one flat, which you probably would? Then all of a sudden the run back happens, and you've got some low-level little special teamer that goes, I'm going to make you remember my name.
Uh-huh.
You better not come one step towards that ball. Because if you do, I'm going to kill you.
And knowing him, he probably would.
Oh, no doubt.
The way
he's too much of a competitor to not.
I was going to say, the way he has defended interceptions that he's thrown in the past, he would 100% be the one to try to make a tackle on a punt return. I wouldn't test it. I still think it'd be a cool thing to see, though.
Here's something. If you had it on your Sportsocracy bingo card, you're a winner. Jeremy tells an outside story about John Mayer. He just played 2 back-to-back sellout shows at Madison Square Garden.
Uh-huh.
And MSG, the James Dolan group there, they had to come up with a gift that would be that would really show their appreciation for John Mayer selling out MSG.
So James Dolan opened up for him.
I didn't expect you to have a joke like that. If you know, you know. James Dolan might be the worst folk singer on the planet. Anyway, my other thought was, how the hell did John Mayer sell out anything? I feel like John Mayer right now would struggle to sell out a Denny's. Has he put out anything in the last 10 years?
Oh, yeah.
I don't listen to crappy music, so I have absolutely no idea.
Stop it. You're John Mayer slander.
Oh, because he's awful?
No. Stop that.
He sounds like a dude that smoked too many heaters. Now he's quit and his voice is coming back, so he's going through second puberty. Yeah, I'm good on John Mayer.
Good on John Mayer.
But that's a man known for singing heartbreak songs, and now he has the ultimate heartbreak guitar because they made him a guitar out of the pieces of the old MSG floor.
Oh, that's cool.
That they had laying around. Well, you say that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's no way it's not going to let you down. John just steps out with his New York Knicks guitar, and it just every string breaks. Like, oh,
just one strum.
I thought this guitar was going to be so good, and it's not.
Oh, no, it would work for a while. It would work through the first 2/3 of the set.
Oh yeah, then it when it really falls apart? April. That's when it really just. As soon as the moisture gets in the air, it just breaks apart into 800 pieces.
Weird. Just like every Taylor Swift relationship.
Including one with John Mayer.
Including one with John Mayer. Exactly.
John Mayer and Taylor Swift. Man, do you think they ever just looked at each other and went, "You're awful? I'm awful too"? Because they should have. In my head, that's how it went. You sing terrible music that no one should ever listen to? Me too. We should date.
Really? Just that out on John Mayer. That does surprise me a little bit.
According to Patrick Holt, soccer moms love him. I'm not one of those. So, and I don't know if you've ever met my wife. I'm not married to one of those either.
He's a great guitar player. I cannot stand his pop music. I mean, it got old real quick.
The greatest thing he ever did was that bit in Chappelle's show.
Yes.
That's the funniest thing. That was top 5 funniest things Chappelle ever did.
Yes. I wish to God that he would just go on tour as the John Mayer Trio. That was the best thing he ever did.
I didn't know.
He just had a 3-man band, and he played a lot of blues tunes. You know how I feel about blues music, and it was just him and Steve Jordan and Pino Palladino, and it was a hell of a show.
Wait, so you love blues music?
I do.
You listening to a lot of that right now with your new diet?
Mm-hmm.
You had to get rid of haters.
You know it.
I'm not allowed to eat anything. This tastes like cardboard. But I'm eating it anyway so I don't die.
I don't want to have an infarction again.
Because Jeremy will just walk out the door because it scared him last time.
Yeah. No, the crap rock album that he put out a year and a half ago, I've never listened to it. Because it's just
I can't.
Weird.
I can't with John Mayer. John Mayer looks like a guy that cries more than his girlfriend does. I'm out.
I can see it.
You got nothing that I'm buying, okay? Like, that's just not who I am as a person. Better or worse, that's just not who I am.
Right. I remember going to a John Mayer concert with my wife. She's a big John Mayer fan. I take her to the concert.
A lot of khakis in that arena, wasn't there?
I thought it was, it was a nice little show, but it was all the poppy shit, and he never did, whip out the guitar. And I was like, oh. Well, Why did I come to this show?
I don't know.
All right, you're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. And Bill's last ride. Apparently,
it's here.
It's getting out.
It's here.
Getting out. Everybody else is coming to our side of going, yeah, you know what? Maybe this should be the last ride for Bill. Maybe Bill should be gone at the end of the season. Apparently, those are discussions that are being had behind closed doors, Jeremy?
According to Nesson, which is the New England Sports Network, Robert Kraft has reportedly discussed moving on from Bill Belichick. I told you. A guy like that's not going to sit back and go, wow, we're on pace to be one of the most putrid offenses in the history of the NFL, and I'm just going to sit back and be okay with it. No shot. Albert Breer has put this out as well. He said it on Colin Cowherd a couple days ago. These discussions have taken place. That's the exact quote. Of course they have. But the thing I can't understand is now we're talking about, well, what's Bill's next landing destination? I don't know. His couch? I saw a report that, and I can't remember now who put it out, that said 2 landing spots for him could be Washington and Chicago.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? That was Mike Giardi. He's an insider for the New England Patriots. Why? Why do we keep doing this? Why do we keep doing this?
Doing what?
Why can we not just let legends? Why do we not just let legends go? All right. Why does it have to be? There's got to be a next step. There's no next step here. The next step would potentially be the Giants, but the more I've thought about it, the less that makes sense. Because you do have Brian Daboll, and letting him go for a 72-year-old head coach doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, but do you really think he's going to look at the Washington Commanders roster and go, oh, yeah, I can't wait to do that? And if you're Washington, I can't emphasize this enough. Would you want him to? You've got Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson and Curtis Samuel and Sam Howell, who I really like. And now you're telling me you're going to go get the guy that can't draft offensive linemen. Sam Howell sitting back going, I swear to God, I will retire. Because the only way that this offensive line is getting worse is if Bill's drafting it. Bill's going to go home and hang out with his dog.
As he should.
100%. You've earned it. You've earned it. But I do find it funny that now these conversations are out there and they're in the public knowledge.
Well, because it's time. See, that's the problem that I had with, yes, Jeremy, you were not wrong. If they'd have got rid of him 3 years ago, they wouldn't be in as bad shape as they are now.
Wait.
You were right.
There it was.
Yeah, I know that's what you wanted
Jeremy
to hear.
lives on.
That's what you wanted to hear.
That's that lifeblood that I live on.
But the problem is you couldn't do it. Now it's obvious to everybody, and now you won't get crucified for having these conversations.
No, I mean this is the amicable. Okay, yeah, it's time.
It's time.
It's time because
you can't
this
let
is
it get worse.
Well, because this is a rebuild that someone that old doesn't want to undertake. And Bill or Ask Alice, said Bill wants Shula's record. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I 100% get that. But are you going to do it at the expense of your legacy? Because that's where we're at.
I think so. I honestly believe that, yes, he wants the record, but how long will it take him to get there? Is he 5 games away?
17.
He's 17 games
17
away.
to tie,
Not a
18 to win.
chance in the world. Because at the rate he's going, it's going to take him another 5 years to get that. And if I'm not doing that. Teddy Bruschi said it the other day in his comments of maybe it's time for Bill to walk away. It's time for the conversation to happen. Teddy Bruschi said the record doesn't matter that much. Right? There's a guy who loves Bill, who played for Bill, who would die for Bill. And he's just trying to tell him, look, coach, it's time. The record doesn't matter that much. You don't need to beat Don Shula. You have 6 Super Bowl titles. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You have what is that?
Yeah, you beat him in
that's
everything else.
That's 4 more than Don has? Because he got 1 with the Colts and 1 with the Dolphins?
Yes.
So you got 4 more Super Bowl titles than him. Okay, so you're 17 games off. That's not worth it.
No.
Because you will damage. You've already damaged your legacy
every
to a
week.
point.
Because now all the people like me that went, Bill Belichick was a mediocre coach without Tom Brady. All you're doing is giving them year after year after year after year of empirical evidence that I was right.
You're on track.
Now, and that's not – everybody always takes that like I'm taking a dig at Bill Belichick. I can do the same thing with Don Shula. Weird. You had Bob Greasy and Dan Marino and Johnny Unitas. You know, it's weird. Every great coach had great quarterbacks. I wonder why that could possibly be.
Right.
It's not a shot. It's just true.
Yeah, it's true. I get it.
We had a comment in the YouTube comments that I wanted to touch on. This is something I wanted to get in today, but we got a jam-packed show. We've got a couple minutes here. Dan, Jeremy, you were right about Justin Fields. Who do you think the Bears should draft this year? Drake May looks great. I am really glad you asked me that because I have been waiting for the opportunity to say exactly what I'm getting ready to say. This goes back into that. I'm going to tell you now for the second time what it was that I said because you seem to be just hearing whatever you want to hear. I still have Caleb Williams as the number 1 quarterback in this class. I do. I have some reservations now that have come out as I did more digging, and I have Drake May really close. If I'm Chicago, and there's almost no way that Chicago's not going to have one of the first 2 picks. They may have them both. I would be scared of Caleb Williams. I would be scared of Caleb Williams solely because you've done so many things attitude-wise, and you've done so many things that make me think in an organization like that, this may not be for you. The writing on your nails, the response to the kid that came up and took the selfie, that lions don't respond to sheep. That's a really played-out quote. I said the same thing with Evan Neal. I get why you said it, and I was more mad that you backed down on it, but can we calm down with that, please? Asking for ownership of the team. These are all things that I don't know that I want to bring into Chicago.
No. How do you think that's going to play with that fan base?
Not well.
The old school Chicago Bears fan base that's all about the team. And
here's the other thing that would bother me. As prospects, those two are reasonably close in terms of the way they play. Caleb Williams is a better prospect. I struggle to believe that you're going to convince a fan base to really get on board with that if it starts slowly. You'll sell more jerseys than you've ever sold before. And that's who I almost feel like you have to take. But it is markedly closer now than it was. Drake May against elite defenses, Caleb Williams against elite defenses. Look at those stats and then tell me. Look at that tape and then tell me.
Right.
I know a lot of people love the kid, and I get it. He's the number 1 prospect in this class. All I have said is that he is not Trevor Lawrence, and you're putting him up on this pedestal like he is, and it's dooming him for failure.
When was the last time one of these guys paid off? When was the last time the top prospect paid off the way it was supposed to, right? If it wasn't Trevor Lawrence, and Trevor Lawrence hasn't lived up to his billing, Andrew Luck has never lived up to his billing, right, because of the injuries. I mean, he was great for a couple of years, but he didn't have the longevity. It scares me. Every one of them scares me. You're the greatest quarterback in college football. I don't want it. I don't want a piece of it.
To me that's an insane take. There's so much more that goes into it. It's the prospect himself is probably 50% of what goes into boom, bust, let down, exceed expectations. I have always said the best example of this I've ever had, the New York Jets were in love with Patrick Mahomes. I don't think that. I know that definitively. I've had that come out of the mouth of somebody in that room to my face. That's not an opinion. I know it. Now think about the New York Jets and the Adam Gase and all of those things. Do you think Patrick Mahomes would be the same guy he is right now in that he was with Andy Reid? No. The problem this year that I have for Drake May and Caleb Williams is that you're going to that jet-level dysfunction pretty much no matter who takes you.
And that's part of the problem that I have. I'm not trying – it sounds like I'm blaming the kid, and I'm not blaming the kid. I know you have talent, and I know you got game. if you were to hook up with one of the great coaches, then maybe you got a good chance of paying this off. But it's one of the things that kills the top college football player is that he's going to go to the worst damn team, which means they don't have the ability to turn him into what he's supposed to be.
Well, you just have to sink the money into it. You got to go get Doug Peterson. You got to go get Calvin Ridley. You got to go put all the pieces around the kid.
Agreed.
And you got to know it's going to take 2 or 3 years. Jacksonville, the benefit there, their fan base was so downtrodden, they didn't care. Urban Meyer didn't really catch them off guard. And then you get a couple years, and now you're pretty much where you wanted to be. Armchair commentary with our first one of These of the Day.
I'm your huckleberry.
Caleb Williams is Johnny Manziel, but instead of liquor and partying, it's all ego, which Johnny had that too. He's way more talented.
Mm-hmm.
It's just he has thrown up red flags that if I'm an NFL team, I'm going to dig into.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. It is a Friday, and we got bangers coming up next.
Bangers.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels, whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys, and we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zack with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Dr. Rebecca Merrill and her staff at Asheville Smiles are here to get your smile back on track, offering comprehensive dental care from teeth cleaning, fillings and crowns, to smile makeovers with Invisalign or veneers, and so much more. Asheville Smiles also has all the up-to-date technology, including same-day crowns, digital impressions, so no more goop, 3D x-rays, and single-tooth anesthetic wands so your entire face doesn't feel numb when you leave. For the highest level of comfort and care, call my dentist, Dr. Rebecca Merrill, at Asheville Smiles.
It's bigger, better, and bubblier than ever. Carolina Cider Fest returns to the heart of downtown Asheville on Saturday, October 21st. Now at McCormick Field. Sample the latest and greatest hard cider, mead, apple wine, and seltzers while enjoying artisanal food, live music, and fascinating workshops. Get your tickets before they sell out at CarolinaCiderFest.com. That's CarolinaCiderFest.com.
OMG, hot and crisp nacho fries are back, and there's even more fries to love now at Taco Bell. But it's now or never. Yeah, these fries covered in bold Mexican spices with nacho cheese sauce are only here for a limited time at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only, while supplies last.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer, and some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate razor, while others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
How powerful are new Power Scratch-Offs? More powerful than this hair metal band's signature scream.
No way, baby!
Power Scratch-Offs are packed with prizes and have power spots for more cash wins.
Show me the money! Feel the power of a win!
With Power Scratch-Offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.23 to 4.57. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
73, 67, and 4 on the year is my mark. And you know, if you've been around that we always start with favorites, this week I don't have that many. Start with Oklahoma, 17.5-point favorite against UCF. They may cover that in the first quarter. Dylan Gabriel is good. I don't think he's Heisman good, but UCF is horror awful. Gus Malzahn effect, fully in effect. Central Florida is a bad football team. I picked on them 3 weeks in a row. I continue this week. Boomer Sooner minus 17.5. Next, Wisconsin, 2.5-point favorite at Illinois. I don't believe in Brett Bielema because that team can't score. And right now, the fact that Wisconsin played a game that set football back 10 years against Iowa last week, that's moving this number. Wisconsin should have been a touchdown favorite here. They're not. Your mistake is my gain. Give me the Badgers minus 2.5. Clemson's a 3-point favorite at Miami. Okay, we've gone too far on this Clemson hate. This number is absolutely moronic because Miami has been beaten 2 weeks in a row. And if we've learned anything about the U fans, they're really fickle, which means this stadium is not going to be nearly as loud as you want it to be. Clemson's going to go in there and absolutely house them. Give me Clemson by 1,000,000. My guy, Mike Houston, and the fighting Mike Houstons of East Carolina. They're 1-5. They're 1-5, but I'm planting my flag now. They're going to finish the year 5-1 and make it to a bowl game. And it starts this week against a school where he almost took the job a few years ago. Charlotte, they're only a 6.5-point favorite. That's about a touchdown light. Biff Poggi and his sleeveless shirts are about to get rickrolled by Mike Houston. And finally, your 2023 college football champion, Florida State Seminoles. They're a 14.5-point favorite at home this week against Duke. This game will be close for a while, but this is one of the first games that Duke's played on the road. Only other game on the road this year against UConn. This is a significant step up in competition, and it ain't enough. I don't care if Riley Leonard plays or not. Florida State rolls. Give me the Noles minus 14.5.
And you take all those wagers over to BetUs.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy. Get a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put into the account, up to $2,500, and bet football with us all season long. We are going to play Beat the Chief coming up in the 2 o'clock hour today. Coming up in the next hour, we got the daily draft because we're going to move everything up because I make room for the Chief. So, daily draft coming up next. Where to go this weekend?
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Still cranking out some raindrops into the afternoon and early this evening. If it's Friday night football, just some isolated showers are possible. I think most of us are dry and not much rain at all. If you get a shower, it is not going to last long. So still a thunder shower left over this afternoon, a little breezy, highs in the low 60s. Tonight, small chance of a shower early, breezy and chilly overnight, 43, 30s in some spots. Sunshine comes out tomorrow and Sunday, highs will be in the mid to upper 60s. Ray Stajic, the Weather Channel.
Every day, you breathe in thousands of microscopic germs, allergens, and viruses. Don't let these invisible invaders make breathing through your nose impossible. Flush them out with Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril around the back of the nose and out the other nostril, helping flush out all the nasty things that make you miserable. Nearly 4 million people use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. People like Cindy, a verified Navage user who writes, "I've had such awful nasal congestion for the last couple years. I bought Navage and OMG, I can breathe again. I love this thing. Goodbye neti pot, hello Navage." End quote. If you suffer from sinus congestion, allergies, or snoring, then Navage is the safe, drug-free solution you've been looking for. Navage is at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage. N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Are you a student ready to embark on your journey towards financial independence? Hey everybody, it's Chris Angel from Mountain Credit Union. Trailhead Student Checking is a high-dividend checking account designed exclusively for students aged 16 to 23. Your path to financial freedom begins at Mountain Credit Union. Start building a solid foundation for your future and enjoy the benefits that come with being a part of the Mountain Credit Union family. Rates subject to change, restrictions apply. Visit mountaincu.org or stop by any of our local branches to learn more. At Mountain Credit Union, we're here for you because we're here with you.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Win. That's win. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. You are in the Sportsocracy on a
Football Friday.
I don't want to stress you out too much. You complained earlier. I was making you say it too
the
much.
first set of bangers I stayed, pretty even keeled.
Yeah.
By the last one, it's going to be full Jim Cramer mad money in here. And by the way, I've got a parlay that, whoo, buddy, it's a stinker. You're not going to love when you hit that button. But you'll love the save. You'll love the winnings.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee it.
All right. It is a football Friday here in the Sportsocracy. We'll play Beat the Chief with Asheville Police Chief David Zack, brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt Zack of EXP Realty. Coming up in the 2 o'clock hour, so we got to do our daily draft here. As we always do on a Friday, it's all about where are we going to go around the football world. And there's one above all, or at least should be above all this weekend, even though there are quite a few games that qualify for a great matchup in Week 7/Week 8. But it's Penn State at Ohio State.
That's a good one.
Number 3, Ohio State. Number 7, Penn State. One of these teams is going to prove that they still belong in the discussion.
I was about to say, and one of them is going to fall by the wayside.
No doubt. It's an elimination game.
It
gets no better than that.
I tend to agree with that.
It gets no better than that for me.
I tend to agree with that. I don't believe in Ohio State. I don't believe in Kyle McCord. You have been beating up on roast beef tech. I mean, can you name me the best win right now outside of Notre Dame between Penn State and Ohio State combined?
Wisconsin?
Maryland?
Okay.
Somebody in that vein?
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a lot of Youngstown State, Western Kentucky, Purdue, Northwestern, let's see, Delaware. Actually, you know what? I think Penn State has the best win. Is against West Virginia the first week of the season.
Okay.
So I'm not overly impressed with what I have seen from Ohio State. I am really impressed with what I've seen from Drew Aller. He is a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And if Ohio State has those same problems this week about getting home that they've had against high-level competition, by the way, does any coach in America take more 5-star top 25 edge rushers and turn them into second-round picks than Ryan Day? Jack Sawyer, he's the number 1 recruit in the country.
Right.
I finished the mock draft that'll be going out in the coming days, one by one, in shorts. That's how we do it. I can't get Jack Sawyer into the first 2 rounds, and he is super talented, but he's just done nothing. So this is, like you said, it's an elimination game. This is the game of the weekend.
Yeah.
Certainly the game of the weekend in college football, and doesn't have anything that's really all that close.
I'm all over Penn State in this one. I know you probably got a pick coming up later.
I do, and I can't say it until I give you the pick.
Oh, I'll be disappointed if this ain't in the Road Dogs segment, but I'm just not, no comment.
It's the game of the weekend, so it's not going to be in Road Dogs.
Oh. Could qualify, though. So.
Could, in theory, qualify for Road Dogs.
Indeed.
But it will not be in that segment.
Yeah, Penn State against Ohio State. To me, that's where it has to start.
Okay.
Now, where are you going to go?
All right. Well, you obviously took the number 1 pick off the board.
Yep.
I have to figure out where you're. I'm going to go to the NFL.
Okay.
I'm going Miami Dolphins, Philadelphia Eagles.
Excellent choice.
The battle of former Alabama teammates. I feel like this is a game that it's by no means an elimination game like we were talking about in college football.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is going to tell you a lot about both of these teams. Because neither one of them has high-level wins. Neither one of them, and Miami's is coming from the one time that you played a really competent team and you got your brains beat out. That pass rush for Buffalo really messed with Tua. You don't think it's going to happen against Philadelphia? A lot's been made of the secondary and that it hasn't looked as good. Well, if he doesn't have time to throw, then that doesn't really mean much now, does it? So styles make fights, and you've got a running team in Philadelphia with 2 high-level receivers, one that's really playing like a high-level receiver in A.J. Brown. Do you know he's 4th in the NFL in scrimmage yards?
No.
I did not know that. And that's just really a testament to Dog. People asking what my credentials are. I've been screaming A.J. Brown since, 15 seconds at Ole Miss. That guy. You should go get that guy because he's real good at football.
I want to see what this Miami defense is all about. I know what the offense is, right? And I get that the Philadelphia offense hasn't been great this year. But if you can limit the damage that they can do to you on the ground.
We have to be able to contain Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
That's really that's the secret sauce. The New York Jets did that last week. And they made him a thrower, and what did it lead to? 3 interceptions.
Mm-hmm. And that Philadelphia secondary has a lot to prove.
In fairness, that Miami secondary has a lot to prove as well.
That's what I'm saying, but I want to see – I think this is going to be, to me, a bigger statement on both of the defenses than it will be on the offenses. I mean, unless – well, actually, because if Miami just boat races Philadelphia, then I'll just have an even greater understanding of how great this offense is. Because there's no questions for me how good they are on that side of the ball.
I'll tell you a fun little anomaly about this game. Over 80% of the money's on the under, which to me is really funny. Because I don't see a path. You couldn't have set this over-under high enough for me. The highest one I've seen in the NFL in the last however many years we've been doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I think it was a 57.5. Is what it ballooned up to. I would have still taken the over.
Yeah.
I'd have still taken the over. I'm not sure that they wouldn't cover 40-something in the first half. This is going to be a points fest.
Mm-hmm. At least we hope so. I mean, we thought this past week was going to be some of those games were going to be big scoring affairs, and they weren't. So,
do you have a squirrel in your pocket? Because I specifically said in our fantasy show, low scoring for the second week in a row. Now, it wasn't as bad as the week before where you could have won the millionaire with 210, but still wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got to make another selection here, and I really have to play my opponent here as much as because I think this is a good week. I've got 9 on my sheet over here. I know this one won't come back, so I'll take it now. It's Detroit Lions, Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
I think that is the other game of the week in the NFL. Jared Goff against a legit defense, a legit team. This will tell us a lot about Detroit, where they're at. I have a definitive lean in this game, but I'm interested to see it. And this could be the game looking at stylistically. I think you're going to learn as much about Baltimore as you do about Detroit.
Okay.
Because in terms of scheme versus scheme, this screams to me a game that Lamar Jackson could look like old Lamar Jackson with the sprinkling of deep shots down the field. If I don't see that, I'm not sure that you're going to see it again with Todd Monken as the OC.
Mm-hmm.
So
you think they'll pull the plug? Is that
no.
Oh.
I'm saying the days of him being 7,800 on DraftKings are going by the board.
Oh, okay.
Because I just don't know that guy is going to come back out.
Mm-hmm.
This has that written all over it. To the point of I'm playing Lamar Jackson in more than one of my lineups this week.
You said Jared Goff against a legit defense. That's another thing for me in this game is it a legit defense? I mean, I know they're good and I know they're talented and all of the things, but I mean, how good can they be? Because they have played a lot of crappy quarterbacks this year, right? They've been on that streak where they've gone backup quarterbacks for several games, and
well,
let's see what they do with Jared Goff.
Oh, you ask, are they a legit defense? Well, right now, do you know how many defenses in the NFL are giving up fewer yards per game than Baltimore is?
1, 2.
It's 1.
Yeah.
It's Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I said this, so if you can math and remember the number I said, you'll get pretty close here. How many yards per game are the Cleveland Browns giving up right now?
I don't know. 150.
You're awful at this. It's 200.
Okay.
You're giving up 200 yards of total offense a week. That's insane. They're 60 yards clear of every other team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And Baltimore's that too, and they're 17 yards clear of every other team in the NFL.
Right.
So this is a really interesting stylistic game for me. And so I feel like I have done well with the 2 NFL games of the week, even though I lost the college game of the week.
Yes, you have done well. Problem is, you left me my top 3. I'll do the Jeremy Green thing here. Los Angeles Chargers, Kansas City Chiefs.
Not even in my top 5.
How?
Because the Chargers are awful.
Are they, though?
Yeah, they're pretty awful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're pretty awful. And now you're going up against Pat Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
A defense that can't stop anybody against the best quarterback in the NFL.
How's this different from past years for the Chargers? It's
I
pretty
don't
much the
believe
same
in
team.
I don't believe in your offense.
Yeah, it's but I'm saying it's pretty much the same team that has gone toe-to-toe with the Chiefs almost every time
I don't believe. You asked me a question, I answered it, and you completely ignored what I just said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in your offense at all.
Well, that's fine. But
that's what's different is that usually this is 2 high-powered offenses coming in here and scoring on each other at will. I don't think the Chargers can score.
Oh, okay.
This is the old, if I took over Apple, I think Colin Cowherd was the one that said this forever.
Mm-hmm.
I take over Apple for 2 years, you're not going to see the regression. By year 3, it's going to be on fire. That's where I'm at with Brandon Staley. This offense is not as good as it was. Justin Herbert is not as good as he was.
Mm-hmm.
And now with no Mike Williams, Josh Palmer, I watched the tape, he's always open, and Justin Herbert can't hit him.
Mm-hmm.
The line's not particularly good. I don't like giving out picks early. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to annihilate the Chargers.
Really?
I don't think this game is ever close, and this is the game I think gets Brandon Staley fired because I think you're going to get embarrassed. And I don't see any way that you don't, to be really honest with you.
Well, I mean, Kansas City hasn't done that.
No.
To anybody except for the Bears.
Yep.
And
they've also heard us say that. They've heard every national show say that for 5 weeks now.
3 years.
Not to this level.
Not to this level.
No,
but,
this is the loudest this has ever been.
Sure. I get it. I think this is going to be it'll be another back and forth battle. It'll be a close game. At the end, it's going to come down to one last score, or it might come down to Chargers trying to chase points at the end of the game. That'll make it that'll make it interesting, but I think it'll be an interesting game.
The public.
I don't see how this is not in your top 5.
It was not in my top 5. The public is aggressively on the Chargers, which makes me like Kansas City even more.
Well, it comes down to that who's got to have it more kind of thing, right?
Well, that only works when you have a coach that's confident enough to get you up for the game.
Yeah, maybe. Well, they do.
His
name's Kellen Moore.
I don't trust Brandon Staley to get his kids up for school, let alone his team up for this game.
That's why they let Brandon go out to the field first, and then Kellen holds him back and says, okay, guys, now this is what we're really playing for. I'm going to be the coach of this team in a couple of weeks. You play for me. You listen to me now.
Stephen Tao with the other narrative around the Chiefs.
Yeah,
they played one legit team and lost. Yeah, trust me, they're hearing all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And they have the ability to just beat your brains out. Because I'll go back to the stylistic thing that I said about the Eagles and the Dolphins. Or the Rams and the Lions and the Ravens. I could see the logos, but I could not get the names out of my mouth.
That is it.
Stylistically, this has you get absolutely tortured written all over it. Because I don't know how you're going to stop Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if you're going to put Derwin James on it, cool. He'll have 11 penalties in one game. This is one of those times that I am vehemently on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay. All right. My next pick will come up after the break. It's about that time. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, the daily draft will continue. Where are you going to go this weekend? Lots of good games to choose from.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP,
The Beast Unleashed.
with 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan. The Beast Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zack with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com, and I sell custom blinds designed for do-it-yourselfers. Unlike stock blinds offered at big box retailers, Blindster blinds are custom made for your windows and shipping is free. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
Are you ready to take your financial well-being to the peak of excellence? Hey everybody, it's Chris Angel from Mountain Credit Union. Summit Personal Checking is a high-dividend checking account designed to elevate your financial goals to unprecedented heights. Prepare for a financial experience that combines exceptional benefits, competitive returns, and unparalleled convenience, all in one powerful account. Rates subject to change, restrictions apply. Visit mountaincu.org or stop by any of our local branches to learn more about this limited-time offer from your local credit union. At Mountain Credit Union, we're here for you because we're here with you.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Hi, this is Dr. Brad Schaefer. As a podiatrist, I can tell you no two people's feet are alike, which is why I recommend Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotic inserts. They're customized for your feet, so you get a unique solution your feet really need, not just a one-size-fits-all insole. They're clinically proven to provide pain relief for achy feet, knees, lower back, plantar fasciitis, and heels. Take the Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotics assessment in Walmart today, now in the foot care aisle.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it, because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart Plus, plus a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Straight Talk wireless, available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or Platinum Unlimited. One offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It's daily draft time. Doing it a little different today because we got Asheville Police Chief David Zack coming in the 2 o'clock hour to pick games, play Beat the Chief. Always brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt Zack of eXp Realty. Go to ClarissaSellsWBNC.com. We're in the midst of the daily draft, though, and it's always on a Friday. Where are we going to go this weekend? Number 1 game of the weekend, my first pick, Penn State, Ohio State. It was the only choice that you had at number 1.
Then I went to NFL games.
Yep.
Miami, Philadelphia, Detroit, Baltimore.
Yep. And then I followed that up with the Los Angeles Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs.
So you want to see one blowout. Awesome. I'm interested to see if you want to see another blowout with your second selection.
No, I actually want to watch your 2023 nothing, because you're not winning the ACC championship. You're not winning a national championship. You're going to lose this game and every game from here on out because Florida State sucks and I hate them.
Well,
no, it's going to be a hell of a game with them.
I was about to say, here's the thing. You actually had a little credibility until that last statement, and I'm not sure I would have disagreed with you on anything you said until then.
Florida State Seminoles and the Duke Blue Devils. That one's going to be exciting because I feel like there is a chance. I feel like Mike Elko and company have a chance with the perfect scenario to be able to pull the shocker down in Tallahassee, and it would be just another great moment for the rest of us. Not for you, but it'd be another great moment for the rest of us. Maybe we can get Riley Leonard running down the field in Tallahassee doing the tomahawk chop.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
We won that game.
Hey, we won that game. You want anything else? Didn't think so. 3 national titles called because you don't have any. So, people call me a homer. I feel like Tank can attest to this. I am harder on my teams than I am on any other team.
Yep.
Just in the effort of being fair and balanced. This is one of those times that I feel like all of you are getting had.
Really?
Not because I don't think Duke's fine. What has Duke done that really impressed you? So be legitimately honest with what I'm asking.
Mm-hmm.
What have they done that impressed you?
It impressed me that they were in that game and had a chance against Notre Dame.
A team that doesn't score easily, and you have a great defense. What else have they done?
I got nothing.
We beat Clemson.
Yeah.
Yeah, you beat Clemson. Yeah. They got inside the 10-yard line 3 times and fumbled. They moved the ball on you rather easily. They just didn't score. Now, I need you to understand that if you combined those two teams, they don't have the offensive talent that Florida State does. I don't think this is even going to be close.
Really?
I think it's bloodletting.
Really?
I think Florida State has heard enough of this about your schedule's weak and LSU's not as good and Clemson's not as good. This is the last team on the schedule that can beat them. They've been up for this game for 3 weeks. And outside of this, they play Miami and Florida. I don't know if you watched either of those two teams, and I don't know if you've watched Florida State. It'd have to be real, real bad. And I know you throw the records out in a rivalry. If you can't get your team up to absolutely qualify in this game, Mike Norvell's not the coach. I think he is. And I'm pretty confident that he is.
You think he is? Okay.
I just look at Florida State and go, you're putting the foot's going further and further down on the accelerator, and I don't feel like that was brought on by Virginia Tech and Syracuse. It was building to this. This is Tallahassee at night with a legit national title contender. The people in that city have craved this for 7 years. And you know that old saying, if you don't know what you got till it's gone? Florida State is the definition of that. I'm friends with way too many of these people. That place is going to be on fire. And I think they kill Duke. I don't think Riley Leonard's going to play. Just secret time.
Yeah.
And even if he does, I think he's going to be hobbled because he shouldn't be playing from what I understand. This could be a thing of that the trainers medically clear him, which is their job, and then he says, I'm playing whether he should or not. Because this is a big game for Duke.
He has to.
You don't have to because I don't think it matters.
I think he should.
Even 100% Riley Leonard, I'd still lay the 14.5, and I wouldn't think about
It's the biggest game of your life, right? What are you going to –
I would argue that was Clemson, but that puts you on the map for this entire season.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm saying
if you hadn't beaten Clemson, we wouldn't be talking about
But
you
if
right
you
now.
don't play this game, do you have a chance? No.
A chance at what?
Duke doesn't have a chance to win this game without Riley Leonard.
They don't have a chance to win this game with Riley Leonard.
Yeah.
If he was 100%, okay, maybe I would still lay the 14.5, but I could at least get to where you're going to keep it close. The biggest problem Florida State has is on the outside. You don't have any receivers that threaten me. And then defensively, look how they've stopped out. What? They stopped what exactly? Those dynamic receivers for Clemson and Notre Dame. Florida State's got 2 top 40 receivers on the outside and a top 40 tight end and the number 1 running back in this class. Good luck with that.
Yep. All the pressures on Florida State here.
The thing that the team that would scare me.
Duke's just playing with nothing to lose.
And I don't disagree with that. The team that would scare me with Florida State is a team that could score really prolifically. That's why I didn't feel great about Clemson, because you had enough players that you could get into bad situations because that defense is not as deep as I want it to be, or as any Florida State fan, booster, or player would want it to be. I'm not worried about your defense because I don't think there's a defense in the country that can stop you. And then you get the ball and do what?
Rob Johnson says Florida State could have lost to Boston College
in the red bandana game. They beat USC in that game the year that they lost a game.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. You're 100% right. And they got a wake-up call. And nobody's been close since.
Yeah, the beer master, Calvin Rogers, says they better not have another day like they did against Boston College. I completely agree. I completely agree, and I think there is a chance for Duke to win this game. There wouldn't be without Riley, and Riley had to play in this game. Just him as a competitor was not going to let him stay out of this game.
Well, he is not officially in.
Well, I feel like
Mike Elko specifically said, we will not know until 90 minutes before kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
That's another part of this. So you're telling me a kid that hadn't practiced all week's going into that?
Good
T's
luck.
and P's, bro.
Good
T's
luck.
and P's.
All right, what's your next selection here? Where to go this weekend, Jeremy?
Well, you stole my line of you got your top three. Cool, I got my top four. Tennessee, Alabama. Because I think that is an actual legit close rivalry game. It tells me a lot that Nick Saban is imploring the crowd. You're going to have to bring the momentum. That's a phrase he literally just said in the press conference yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to bring the momentum because I'm not sure that we can. And Tennessee they're good enough. They're good enough offensively that they're going to be able to score. Can Jalen Milroe score? Will Tennessee conceive a defense the same way they did against Texas A&M and beat a team that I think is more talented than them? Plus, there has to be another team in the SEC that's at least halfway good. And you keep eliminating each other every single week. I thought it was Kentucky for a minute. And then Georgia went, nope, don't ever have to talk about them again.
Mm-hmm.
So that game has a lot of intrigue to me. The other one is Utah-USC. And maybe I'm being selfish here because I've had a lot of people tell me how stupid I am about Caleb Williams. Okay, I've listened to every word you've said. Go prove it to me.
See what happens.
That Utah defense is better than anything that Caleb Williams has ever cut apart. They don't have their quarterback. This should be a special game for Caleb Williams. And if it's not, don't be shocked when I double down on that on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be watching that one with bated breath with a definite rooting interest.
Okay. All right. Now it's my turn. And
I need you to go off the board one time here because I've only got one left.
Go.
So I'm gonna have to get real cute if you take the last one I have.
I'm gonna go with the NFC South battle. Atlanta Falcons, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Look, I mean, these may be two crappy quarterbacks going at it, and they are. Before anybody wants to come at me and say, oh, no.
We're going to talk about that.
Terrible quarterbacks. But Atlanta, Tampa Bay is always a good game. Closely contested. Remember last year, I mean, heck, I think for 5 years now we've done this in each game of just trying to give it away. Either us or them. Somebody's trying to give this game away. So Tampa Bay and Atlanta is a no doubt drama fest for me.
I agree. That was the one that I had already mentally chalked up you were taking. So I actually have one left.
Okay.
And if you take it, then I might have to take pass. I'm gonna pass, Bob. I believe I could rest on my 4.
Just passing on all of it. Well, I don't know if this is the game that you wanted to take, but I'm going to go with another ACC game.
That is not the one I was talking about.
It's Clemson and Miami. Because, okay, do I believe in Miami? No. But Miami is a team that can still score. They can take Clemson all the way to the end.
God,
Clemson,
you have so many what I think are blinds.
I think Clemson ends up being the winner in that one. But I think it's going to come down to the end.
You have so many what I think are blowout games. I genuinely would lay 14 points on 4 of your 5. And I'd consider it on the 5th one if I hadn't been burned by betting against Ohio State so many times.
Yeah. And I don't understand any of them. I mean, I understand the Florida State one. I can see how that game will get away from Duke. The others, not a chance.
You don't see how – okay. We'll talk about one of those and beat the Chief.
Yeah.
And every other one of those – all the college games? Yeah, they're in the bangers later. So you can figure out which side I'm going on. You did not take my final one because I love talking about trap games and how teams can get caught the week after a really emotional win. or a really emotional loss, and you have to be careful, especially if you lose, not to let a team beat you twice.
Mm-hmm.
There is a number out there that is really intriguing to me, and it is a perfect combination of I just saw one of you get drugged down the sidewalk. I saw another one of you play with a national contender, and I think this game is going to be close. It's Washington State and Oregon.
Okay.
It's not in the bangers. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. But it was really hard for me to leave out.
Just because there's going to be a lot of points.
Washington State's a 20.5-point dog. And yes, I know you just got drugged by Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I know it. I know it. You sleptwalked through that game. You're not that bad. You're not that bad. And I think they're going to, at least for a half, they're going to give Oregon a game.
Okay.
And the uniform battle is top 5 all time. It's the throwback Oregon Ducks and a special, like, I don't even know how to explain Washington State's.
They're wearing some kind of special uniform.
Yeah, they're sweet. They're both sweet.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. We don't usually agree on these things, so I'll just have to take your word for it.
Well, yeah, because you have the taste of a 78-year-old man. Do they have khakis? Can it get a nice khaki pleat? No, I want loud, vibrant, good.
Mm-hmm.
Those Miami Vice FIU jerseys. Shiskies.
But you didn't like the Oregon eggshells.
No, those were god-awful.
That was the best uniform I've seen all year.
I vehemently disagree. They're just basic. It's an eggshell for a duck.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I mean, I know what you're getting ready to say. No, I don't care.
Birds aren't real.
Yeah, birds don't lay eggs. They lay more drones.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Still cranking out some raindrops into the afternoon and early this evening. If it's Friday night football, just some isolated showers are possible. I think most of us are dry and not much rain at all. If you get a shower, it is not going to last long. So still a thunder shower left over this afternoon, a little breezy, highs in the low 60s. Tonight, small chance of a shower early, breezy and chilly overnight, 43, 30s in some spots. Sunshine comes out tomorrow and Sunday. Highs will be in the mid to upper 60s. Ray Stajic, a Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer over 50 different custom window treatments, including faux wood blinds and shutters, all at prices less than retail. Plus, we'll send you free samples before you buy. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
Looking for an electrician job that has it all? Then join Emory Electric. Competitive pay? Check. A supportive team? Check. A clear path to career growth? Check. Yes, Emory Electric has it all. They offer the best pay rates because Emory Electric values its team. Ready to light up your career? Call Emory Electric at 828-658-8300 or visit EmoryElectric.com/careers. That's EMORY electric.com.
Like fine wine, they just get better with age. Okay, aging sucks. Pair this one with a beer. The new Rock 105.1.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned in one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays. ESPN Asheville, it's time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy Green.
Don't do crimes!
Nah, don't do crimes. Why don't you hit us with yours?
Mine, I'm going to have to tell, we'll say reasonably delicately.
Okay.
I've had a lot of people doing weird sexual things that they're not supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
This is about 55-year-old Theodore Morgavon. And he, to describe his mugshot, he looks like a feller that would do exactly what I'm getting ready to tell you that he did. He was in his car, and there was a report. He was in a parking lot. It doesn't say where. It's in Baxter County in Arkansas. Allegedly, the car was rocking back and forth. And so authorities were alerted. They show up, and Mr. Morgavon he's cavorting with a stuffed animal. Don't do that. That's weird. That's not a thing that you ought to do. And it's way more common than you would think. But here's the problem with cavorting with Paddington Bear in your car. It is indecent exposure and public indecency, which in the state of Arkansas allows for two things: them to search your car and then give you a drug test upon arrival at the Baxter County bed and breakfast, which they did, and they found drug paraphernalia in his car, which is illegal in this state. They found weed pipes, syringes, and a slew of other things, and then they got him back to the Baxter County courthouse and figured out that he was high on crimes.
Of course.
So basically what this feller here did, he decided that he liked the Care Bears, and he wanted to do a little meth and cavort with one. And now he's going to do a whole lot of time in a federal penitentiary.
And
really hope to God that none of his inmate friends find out why he's here. I don't think that would go particularly well for you.
Yeah. I'd say plenty of cavorting.
Yeah.
On the schedule.
Yeah. You know, that stuffed animal felt, you might pretty soon.
My crime story comes to us from
Florida.
Yeah,
let's go.
Florida. Let's go
always
down
Florida man.
Plantation, Florida, where we had two brothers and another armed man facing federal charges after a kidnapping. Now, the interesting part about the kidnapping is that, well, they apparently had planned it all out, and they decided that they were going to go snatch this guy. And on October the 13th, they kidnapped a man, tossed his cell phone out of the car, and drove to a home where they took him inside. It doesn't say how long they had him there until they found out they got the wrong guy.
That is, you can do everything right, but if you get the wrong feller, your kidnapping plot is probably not going to work out.
So they were actually intending to kidnap this guy's coworker.
How do you screw that up?
I don't know. I guess they looked similar, or I don't know. I guess it was in the middle of the night and they just jumped on the first person that came out and put a bag over their head and then took them to where they were going to and then unveiled the bag and that's not the guy that we were supposed to take. So at this point, you've kidnapped the wrong guy. What do? Do you take the guy back and just say, no harm, no foul? Well, no, you still got a job to do. So now they're trying to coerce or actually torture this guy into helping them go get his coworker who they were meaning to kidnap. The guy complains that they put an electric drill to his skin. They pointed a firearm at him, and they doused him with water in what prosecutors said was a simulated waterboarding.
How do you simulate that?
I don't know.
That feels like a thing that you either did or you didn't do.
It's probably one of those things like he was telling the cops what happened, and the cops were like, but why were they pouring water on your forehead? I don't understand what the point is in that. And he was like, I don't know. I think they were trying to drown me, but they weren't really – they really didn't know how to do it.
They were pouring the water in the wrong place, or they gave him a breathing tube, or something
they were pouring it in his belly button. Are we doing it right? Are we doing this right? We are bad kidnappers. We are awful at this.
We were trying to waterboard him, and we gave him an enema. How did that happen?
Yeah, we just gave him a sweet drink of water. He was very thirsty.
So the simulated waterboarding, they touched the drill to his skin, so it's not like they were drilling into him, or did they do that thing where you drilled the piece of wood and then you got the drill bit real hot and then you laid it on his skin to burn him? I bet that really taught him a lesson. These guys aren't real great at torture. They're not great at kidnapping either because they grabbed the wrong person. They finally were able to convince the guy, or I guess under duress, he was like, okay, fine, I'll help you. And so they were trying to figure out ways to lure the guy out of the business so they could kidnap the right guy. 2:08 a.m., October the 14th, the man phoned in a bomb threat in an effort to get the rapid police response to the building where they were trying to carry out the kidnapping.
Yeah, kidnappers, you probably shouldn't hand your kidnappee a phone and go, you call who I told you to. You don't call 911. I'm going to go grab a heater, and you do what I told you to.
I'll be right back. You do what I tell you to. Yeah, they called in a bomb threat so the cops would be there when they tried to kidnap the guy.
Yeah, Kelvin Joyner in our YouTube chat said, you wouldn't have to kidnap me to sell out some of my coworkers. When I read this story, I'm not going to lie, that was immediately what I thought was, if somebody wanted information out of me, it would be easier for them to kidnap Tank because you wouldn't get out of the parking lot before he went, well, you want to know? I'll tell you.
I'll tell you everything.
Now, me, I'm going to turn into Liam Neeson and be very defiant.
I'll tell you his middle name. I'll tell you.
You let me out of this chair and I won't kill you. But if I have to get out myself, it's going to end very bad for all of you.
Do my best to find out what his social security number is. You're right. I am the guy that would join a cult.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt.
Yes, I'll do whatever you need me to do.
I guarantee.
Just don't hurt me again.
I guarantee you, if Jonestown still existed, Tank would be looking Airbnbs in Jonestown.
It sounds lovely.
It sounds like a place where everybody just loves, and I want to be a part of something bigger than I am.
Plus, they have Kool-Aid.
Now, me, I don't listen to anything anybody says and go, yes, I just believe that without asking any questions. I've always said I ask too many questions to be in a cult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, why do you have individual meetings with all of our wives? I'm not okay with that. Because it all always boils back to that.
Unless they put you in charge, and then you'd be okay with it.
I didn't see a lie told there.
The correct response there was, what are you, a cop? I laid it up for you. We were doing crimes and everything. And
the only long-haired individual I trust is myself.
Not even Jeeves?
We don't know that he had long hair.
I'm pretty sure he did. Pretty sure. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM at 1400. We've got a huge game in the NFL between the Miami Dolphins and the Philadelphia Eagles. Sunday Night Football.
Am I the only one that feels like, just listening to Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa this week, that there's more of a rivalry here than I ever thought there was?
Do you not doubt? I mean, did you ever doubt that?
I never doubted that Jalen had probably a chip on his shoulder.
No doubt.
It sounds like Tua's got one too. It sounds like he's got I had to sit behind you for a year, and now I'm going to prove that was the wrong call from Jump Street.
Maybe it's just, I don't know. I don't know if they're just talking it up or what. I mean, I could totally get Jalen's. I mean, everybody can sympathize with Jalen on this, right?
Can you, though?
I mean, he was the starter of the Alabama Crimson Tide when they were number one in the country, and he had, the lead going into the fourth quarter, or into halftime, or coming out of halftime.
They were down 13-0.
Oh, they were down. Oh, yeah. They were down coming out of halftime.
They were down 13-0, and if I remember correctly, they hadn't crossed midfield. Yeah, you really got nothing to be angry at here. He was better than you. He's still better than you. So, I mean, maybe I just compartmentalize better than most people do. But I don't get it. Like, you won SEC Player of the Year. This actually benefited you because you went and had Lincoln Riley, who is he's a better quarterback tutor. You got a year of that. He's a better tutor than Nick Saban, which that's another thing I've been hammered for. Oh, Nick Saban doesn't put quarterbacks in the NFL. Well, doesn't he, though?
Well, it's hard.
I think he kind of does.
It's hard to be as, virile of a tutor when you're that old.
I don't disagree. Okay. But, I mean, just everything worked out. You're still harboring this beef all these years later. That's odd to me.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm not one of those. I don't need a chip on my shoulder. I just want to beat you. I want to be better than you at everything I do. I don't care who you are.
Some would say that's a big chip. Like, that's the biggest chip.
Yeah,
I have on your shoulder.
I have a chip on my shoulder against everyone, and it doesn't matter what we do. Right. We play video games. We play Tiddlywinks. We play Candyland.
I mean, there's no doubt that this means more to these guys because they played with each other, right? Yeah. They were on the same team. They were in a position battle, and it played out on a national stage, which is another thing that you never get. Right? It's the only time I can ever remember this happening, where in a national championship game, the quarterback for the number one team in the country was so bad that they went to some backup. And it's not that Tua was just some backup. I don't want to put him off like that. We all thought he was a great prospect.
He was the heir apparent. We all knew it.
Right. But the fact that they went to him mid-game was one of the ultimate slaps in the face of a starting quarterback, regardless of whether you deserved it or not.
West Virginia Willie said the Dolphins are going to smoke them like a Costco rotisserie chicken. I cannot say that I agree with that. I also cannot say that I disagree with that.
I think it's definitely in the realm of possibilities.
This just has must-see television written all over it to me.
Yes,
because these are the leaders of these are the. It's not even that for me. These are the leaders of their respective franchises. They're two really good teams that we have questions about both. Now you're coming into this primetime battle between each other, and it feels really personal for two teams that are not in the same conference. They have nothing to do with each other, but this feels like a conference game to me. This feels like a division game to me, and that's rare when you have teams that don't play each other once every 4 years. So this is one time you got primetime right.
Yeah. Oh, there's no doubt about it. And the question is, who wins? Because to me, it's the high-flying offense of Miami against that shutdown defense of the Philadelphia Eagles, which really hasn't been all that shut down.
No,
right?
You just lost to Zach Wilson. I only get to say that one more time, so I had to get the last dig in there.
But when it comes down to the battle of who's better, like where will this leave you?
Well, I mean, just break it down position by position. In terms of offensive line, Philadelphia's got one of the best in the league with potentially no Lane Johnson. I think, has he been ruled out? I haven't seen a definitive on that, but it didn't appear that he was going to play. So offensive line, you're better. Both of you have outrageously good weapons. I would take the backfield of running backs for Miami at full health over Philadelphia. I'd take Tua over Jalen Hurts. And then the defense is Philadelphia. But like Colin Green said, I don't love this matchup for the Eagles. This has how are you going to deal with Tyreek Hill written all over it.
Yep. Darius.
Because if you think, I'll go ahead and tell you, after just watching this team, if you think you're going to put James Bradberry on him, good luck with that. Garrett Wilson annihilated him with Zach Wilson. What do you think Tua and Tyreek Hill will do?
Yep. They should have Darius Slay back this weekend. He was a full participant in practice. Lane Johnson did turn in a limited participation in practice yesterday. Have not seen what it was like in practice today. But this is a premier game. This is one of those games that you tell all your guys, hey, I know you're banged up, but we need you.
Well, this is also one of those games where Carrie Underwood's not lying. We all actually did wait for Sunday night.
Yes.
As opposed to last week where Jeremy drank 11 domestic lights and slept through Sunday night.
That make you feel good?
Oh, the biggest win for my team in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And I missed a 14-9 gross fest between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Giants. I went back and watched the All-22 highlight reel that I get sent from the NFL. It took 6 minutes. I went, yep, that saved me. That's everything I needed to know.
Yep. My new health coach over at PhD Weight Loss is a Jets fan. He was there. He flew up last weekend.
Oh, in New Jersey?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
He said he was there, prime seats, to watch the Jets beat the Eagles, and he was over the moon, as you can imagine.
As am I.
You are in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
I'm also over the moon about something else.
What's that?
Bangers.
That's right. We got them coming up next. Jeremy's second set of bangers of the night on the way.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zack with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets. If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Discover, this is Danny.
Hi, it's Jen Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great. But with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Are you hungry? 'Cause everyone left after the asparagus sorbet.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashbackdebit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We're here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4VICTIMS.
Join the Asheville Symphony Saturday, October 21st for a stunning classical concert featuring acclaimed pianist Drew Peterson playing Ravel's Piano Concerto, plus Ravel's vibrant orchestration of Mussorgsky's Pictures at an Exhibition and more. Don't miss the second concert in Asheville Symphony's Masterwork series, The Great Gate, Saturday, October 21st, 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. Tickets on sale now at AshevilleSymphony.org or by phone at 828-254-7046 or at the Asheville Symphony box office at 27 College Place.
It's bigger, better, and bubblier than ever. Carolina Cider Fest returns to the heart of downtown Asheville on Saturday, October 21st. Now at McCormick Field. Sample the latest and greatest hard cider, mead, apple wine, and seltzers while enjoying artisanal food, live music, and fascinating workshops. Get your tickets before they sell out at CarolinaCiderFest.com. That's CarolinaCiderFest.com.
But my favorite kind of dog is a road dog, and I got more even than I have in this segment because I got more in the last one. We start Mississippi State's a 6-point dog at Arkansas. Arkansas's not good. I don't really understand why this line is set where it is. I get that it's at Arkansas, and I get that they played close with Alabama. that has way more to do with Alabama's offense not being very good than Arkansas turning a corner defensively. And you got beat up last week. Give me the Dogs +6. Next, Boston College is a 4-point dog at Georgia Tech. Over-under's 58. Let me go ahead and tell you this. My biggest bet of the weekend is over the 58 right here because neither one of these teams can play dead in the Western defensively. Boston College will win outright. People are overreacting to the bye week for Georgia Tech and the win over Miami. Neither one means all that much. Boston College, the offense has been really good since Castellanos took over. Give me the Eagles +4. Baylor is a 3.5-point dog at Cincinnati. I figured with Blake Sharpen coming back this week, you know, the quarterback that doesn't turn the ball over 100 times a week, that the line would move. Then he was declared in, and it still didn't move. And I went, yep, that's enough for me. Cincinnati's terrible. Blake Sharpen doesn't turn the ball over. Baylor Bears +3.5. They went outright. Pittsburgh's a 1-point dog at Wake Forest. No Power 5 school should be a dog at the team that I saw against Virginia Tech last week, period. I don't care if your quarterback's playing tight end now. Pittsburgh wins outright. And if I'm taking our rival in the backyard brawl, you know that I got to make an exception in the road dogs.
Take me home
to the place I belong. My West Virginia Mountaineers are 3.5-point favorite at home against Oklahoma State. Last week hurt a lot. If you don't gamble and you like to laugh, go check our social medias for how I reacted to that, because it had a whole mess of bleeped out vulgarities in it. This week, they play an Oklahoma State team in Morgantown that shouldn't give them all that many troubles. I have struggled wagering against the Cowboys this year, but I don't think I will here. West Virginia wins and covers. You can take those wagers to betus.com. Use our promo code Sportsocracy to get a 125% deposit match and up to 30 risk-free bets so you can wager football with us all season long.
And go ahead and call us right now if you want to be a winner. The Asheville Championship returns to Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville, November 10th and the 12th. This year's exciting field includes Clemson, Maryland, Davidson, and UAB. To get your tickets or for more information, go to the AshevilleChampionship.com. It's proudly sponsored by Ingles Markets, November 10th and 12th. I got a pair of tickets for each of the sessions to go to you right now. Call us at 225-4988, 225-4988, and be a winner now, AshevilleChampionship.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Still cranking out some raindrops into the afternoon and early this evening. If it's Friday night football, just some isolated showers are possible. I think most of us are dry and not much rain at all. If you get a shower, it is not going to last long. So still a thunder shower left over this afternoon, a little breezy, highs in the low 60s. Tonight, small chance of a shower early, breezy and chilly overnight, 43, 30s in some spots. Sunshine comes out tomorrow and Sunday. Highs will be in the mid to upper 60s. Ray Stajic, a Weather Channel.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand, the best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
You know when you wake up and your mouth feels gross and you just can't wait to brush your teeth to get that clean, fresh feeling again? That's exactly how millions of Navage users feel when they use powered suction to rinse out their noses every day, just like brushing their teeth. Once you're able to breathe deeply without congestion, you never want to be without it. That's why so many people rave about Navage, with over 100,000 online reviews. Feel the Navage difference for yourself. In less than a minute a day, you'll feel immediate relief from seasonal allergies and congestion after the very first use. Navage will also help you sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier, naturally, without drugs. Start breathing clearly again with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Bills. That's Bills. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
Live in the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. You can see us everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat. It is a Football Friday. Go ahead.
Football Friday.
You like to do it. It's Football Friday. We're getting ready for all of the games this weekend. Getting ready to play Beat the Chief with Asheville Police Chief David Zack. He's making his way over to the studio as we speak. Some rain around the area, so be careful if you're out there on the roadways and move out of Chief's way so you can get here sooner. But be safe. Do it safely. That's all we ask.
I'm stuck on something that you said earlier.
Okay.
You were talking about this NFC South battle between the Atlanta Falcons and your Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I can't wait.
I have a dedicated lean here, and I want you to give the people, as a Buccaneers fan, I have been inundated with people defending Baker Mayfield. So could you please, as somebody that's watched him for many years and now watched him for a handful of games with your team, could you, just get them?
Look, you want to make excuses for Baker Mayfield, and you want to say, his stats have been good. He's thrown for over 1,000 yards, and he's completed, 65% of his passes or what. Look, this is what Baker does, right? We've talked about this time and time and time again. He has not played a good schedule. Not even a competitive schedule so far.
No, he has not. You have 3 wins: Saints, Bears, Vikings.
Right.
2 of those teams are in the bottom 5 teams in the NFL.
Right. And he has looked good at times, sure. But Baker does this all the time, right? He looks good at times. He'll look good on one drive, and then he'll come out the next drive and look like he shouldn't be in the NFL. And last week, I don't know that I would go that far as to say that's what he looked like, but there were times in that game where
he looked last week like he did not belong in the NFL.
Where he had wide open throws, wide open targets, and he could not make the throw. He would overthrow it, he would underthrow it, he would skip it, it would get bounced at the line, something. Always seems to happen. Baker is not good. He beats up on bad teams. He beats up on undisciplined defenses, and I don't believe this is one of those.
Okay, so just to me, this is the end-all, be-all of this argument. You played 5 games.
Yes.
3 of them against teams that are terrible.
Yes.
3 games that you played terrible teams, his QBR, 50.6, 74.8, 92.6. Care to take a stab at what it was combined against the 2 good teams?
62.3.
Too high. 53.9.
Combined.
It was a 30.8 and a 23.1.
That makes sense.
This is who he is. You keep defending this guy till kingdom come. The problem is that, he's not a franchise quarterback, but he was drafted to be. Mm-hmm. And you're defending this mediocre quarterback like you're telling me he's a franchise quarterback. You don't get to speak out both sides of your mouth. He's the definition of average.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a really funny feeling that we're not going to agree on this week.
Really? Okay. Well, you know what that means? Feeling. You know what that means? That means it's time to play Beat the Chief. Tank one. It is another Tank win. We're just stacking the wins, ladies and gentlemen.
You're beating me by a whole game for the season.
We're just stacking the wins. I need to stack all the wins because I got to build up those one-game wins for the weeks when I lose by 3 or 4 games, right, Chief?
Yeah.
I mean,
Tank is.
Where am I right now?
You are 2 games behind me, 1 game behind Jeremy. We're all right here together. I'm 46, 44, and 3 for the season. Jeremy's a perfect 45, 45, and 3, and you are 44, 46, and 3. So
2
we're
games
all right here together.
We're all right here like we always are.
Exactly. Tank is the Baker Mayfield of picking NFL football games. He narrowly beats us when we have bad weeks and then gets slaughtered when we're good.
No doubt.
Ta-da!
No doubt. I like the way you put that together, and you know what? That was the best one you've ever done, Jeremy. Best analogy you ever made. Yeah, I won last week, 9-6 on the week. Chief, you were second place with an 8-7 record, and Jeremy was 7-8. The house last week, we had an incomplete week because we didn't get all your picks last week, but you guys were 7-4, so congratulations on that. 24-17 so far on the season for the House of Reprehensibles. You want to vote on our matchups every week and get into the chat.
We'll do it. And this week we will do them on the Sunday fantasy show. That way I won't forget to do 5 of them like I did last week.
Right.
I did have the Jags yesterday. Did I not get that to you?
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were, and we gave that one to the house because I forgot to ask, but I went back and looked at the comments and went, well, there were enough of you.
And you both had the Jags as well?
Yes.
Okay.
We're all 1-0 to start out the week.
I missed a 7-leg parlay last night because Chris Olave couldn't get in the end zone. That led me to say bad words a whole lot.
Sucks to suck, right, Chief?
I'm not much a parlay fella.
It sure does.
It sure does. It sure does. All right, we are playing Beat the Chief, brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt Zack of eXp Realty. Go to ClarissaSellsWNC.com, and don't forget to check out her new program on Sunday mornings at 11 on News Radio 570 WWNC. Clarissa Explains Real Estate, 11 o'clock every Sunday morning.
That is can't miss radio.
I know it. I know,
The
Jeremy.
Zack house, we're glued.
You're glued into it. Just up with your morning cup of coffee. And
That's right.
Just enjoying the Clarissa Explains Real Estate.
Yep.
It's the way it should be. Go to ClarissaSellsWNC.com. All right, so we've already given you the lead in here, Atlanta and Tampa Bay, so I feel like we should just pick the game.
Okay.
I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons plus the 2.5 on the road at my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Because I don't think this isn't going to be a great game for Baker, because he's going up against a veteran team, and they are going to screw with him.
Well, I thought that we were going to be on opposite sides of this, and I was right, because I am taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, man.
I actually conspired this last night as I was in the third night in a row of me being unable to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I could take a piece of paper, write down a stat line, and unveil it on Monday, and I almost guarantee you I'm within 20 yards and probably 5% of his completion percentage. So I'll do it right here just because people will think it's shenanigans if I do it that way. Baker will be 25 of 36, 245 yards. He'll have 2 touchdowns and 1 interception, and it will be just enough to beat Atlanta. And they will win this by a field goal.
Say it again.
25 of 36, 245 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And it will be just enough to beat Atlanta because that is not a good team.
Mm-hmm.
And people will lose their minds.
What made you flip on Atlanta?
It's not that I'm flipping on them.
Ritter.
Ritter's terrible.
Ritter.
But it's also, there's this narrative that this is a really good defense because they got Calais Campbell and Jesse Bates. A.J. Terrell has not been the guy that he usually is. This sets up for another one of those games. You want to know what flipped me on it this week?
Yep.
I've been inundated by people defending Baker Mayfield for 3 solid days. To the point of, I finally had to just turn notifications off my phone like, I can't deal with you people anymore. And I know what's coming. I see this as clear as day. You're going to win this game, and people are going to get duped because Atlanta's second in the NFC South. That we beat a good team. Cool. Give that time, won't bear out well. Tampa Bay.
Really?
Yep.
All right.
What's it, 2.5? 2.5?
2.5.
Yeah, I got to go with the Bucks as well.
Wow.
At home.
All right.
Ritter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's enough. With less than a field goal at home, I just like the home team here.
Normally, I would be on your side on this one, but it's just something about this team that I don't like, and it's something about Desmond Ritter that I think he might be able to screw with this team.
Which side of this are you wanting to be on? Are you back to the tank for the future, or hey, let's just win this for the old Gipper?
I'm ambivalent. I don't care. I'm sitting back. And
That's
I'm going,
not true.
It doesn't matter what
You've watched them get housed by two good teams, and you're like, no, you know what? Let's just lose every game for the rest of the year. Which is why Tampa Bay will win this game, because Todd Bowles wins when you want him to lose and loses when you want him to win.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. Y'all are on Tampa. The FPI is on Tampa. I just do not see it. And I think Atlanta's going to get one on us, and it's not going to be pretty. Kyle Pitts. I'm going to keep saying it. Kyle Pitts, tight ends against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Does Ritter
Doesn't
know
tend to work out.
He has Kyle Pitts on his team.
I'm not sure. No, we really didn't, because all that happened in the first quarter. Because I'm not sure Arthur Smith knows that he has Kyle Pitts. I think he looks at him sometimes and goes, man, that dude, that's a big dude. We should get him involved in the offense.
That guy looks like he could play football.
He looks like he would be a tremendous football player. I'm glad he's wearing an Atlanta Falcons jersey. Let's see if we can sign him.
Kyle Pitts, Jonnu Smith, Drake London. I think all of those guys are just going to have fine days tomorrow.
Tank Spencer, kiss of death.
Indeed.
Buccaneers 24, Falcons 14.
That's how we roll here. Let's go Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots.
I've been looking forward to this for several days. Asheville Police Chief David Zack, defend your boy, because what in the world was that?
The Bills have what I said at the start of this year. It was going to define Ken Dorsey's career as to whether he was a competent offensive coordinator and potential head coach. This is coaching at this point. The weapons aren't being utilized. They have the talent. They rip off 3 games in a row where they're just unstoppable, and then they 2 weeks in a row they lay an egg in the first half and not ready to play. These weapons are not being utilized properly. The talent is there. This is on the coach, the offensive coordinator. Do I think they get it right this week? I don't like the 9. I don't like the 9 and all. I'm still going to take the Bills, but Dorsey is feeling the heat in Western New York. I can tell you that right now.
So I like the 9. Because really the only question that I have to ask is, are the Buffalo Bills going to score 9 points? Because I think you could give New England 10 quarters with Mac Jones, and they're not going to score. So I'm totally fine with that. I'm also on Buffalo. Tank, who are you taking in this game?
It is definitely 9?
It's 8.5.
Oh, okay. All right. 8.5.
You got to have 9 to win it. So
just want to make sure that my record was
fine.
Correct here. I'm going with Buffalo. I probably shouldn't, because I feel like every time I pick your Buffalo Bills, they end up screwing me.
Yeah, could you stop doing that?
I should probably be on the other side of that one.
But
I really don't want to end up with
the
damn
Miami
T-shirt
game
that says New England plus 8.5. So I'm not going to do that either.
He could add it to his closet of Jets plus 7, Jets plus 9.5, Jets plus anything.
Well, I just feel like at some point Jeremy's he's keeping a tab on these things, and I'm going to end up with one of those like Cleveland Browns jerseys that's got the number of all the quarterbacks on it. It's just going to be all my worst bets, all down like a championship T-shirt that has all of the bad ones.
That's not a terrible idea. I have a question for Asheville Police Chief David Zack, because I have a theory on Buffalo. He's saying Ken Dorsey, and I agree. There have been some very odd game plan things that I see with Buffalo. I'm going to give you my conspiracy theory, and I want you to tell me either I'm an idiot or I'm onto something, because he's very plugged in with the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
I think this has a lot to do with Stephon Diggs, because he is a diva receiver that does not tend to survive places for extended periods of time. And there's a reason, because he wears on people. And now he wants to be the absolute only center, the focal point of this offense. Because if you look at the other weapons, who is there to really challenge him? Fantasy players love Gabe Davis, but he is not a star on the level of Stephon Diggs. Dawson Knox, Khalil Shakir, Kincaid, the rookie. You got a slew of running backs that are faceless and nameless. He's the star, and he knows it. And this is exactly what he did in Minnesota with Adam Thielen because he wanted to be the guy, and then he wound up out the door because they got tired of dealing with it. Am I off base with that?
I think there's a component to that, especially when you start looking at the number of targets.
He had 16 of their 29 targets last
week. And again, I come back to that. That's the coach.
And I don't dispute that.
That is on coaching, and but again, we've seen crazy clock management. We're second and goal from the, one, and we're lining up shotgun with Latavius Murray in the backfield. There's no reason for that.
Yeah.
And again, Kincaid, this is a guy you drafted in the first round.
And
he is wildly underutilized. Wildly underutilized. So you have the assets. Gabe Davis, yeah, he's a good fantasy. He's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
He's good enough. And again, the play calling and running on 2nd and 8 and 2nd and 9, you're just wondering what in the hell are they doing? And they're just getting too cute for their own good. And again, but I don't discount that maybe Josh is looking Diggs' way more than he should.
I'm looking at it, and where the theory came from with me is with Brian Daboll. He's been in this league long enough that he's going to look at Stephon Diggs and go, better to the team, trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Ken Dorsey didn't have that. It's his second year as a coordinator, and he has really achieved nothing outside of getting smoked in a playoff game. So Stephon Diggs is going to trample all over him. And that's what I think is happening, is that he is going to the play callers going, I want to be more involved. I'm unhappy. You take the reports that were coming out in the preseason and in the offseason, and they're trying to keep him happy. And it's affecting the offense in games like this because Gabe Davis should have had a day against the Giants.
Yep.
It almost looked like they forgot he was on the field for 2 quarters.
And from what I've been told, obviously I go to a lot of games. Those receivers are not covered. They are running free.
Oh, yeah.
And they are open. It's not a question of talent.
So everybody on the Bills?
Yes.
Everybody on the Bills, despite the criticisms. Minus the 8.5 against the New England Patriots. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We'll continue to play Beat the Chief next. The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
fall into a hiring spree with Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
AutoStar family dealerships need your car today, and you can get cash today for a clean, late model vehicle. Listen, AutoStar is always paying more than the big box retailers, and they're paying it now. Deal with a real, local, trustworthy live person and get paid top dollar for your vehicle the day you arrive. Ain't no waiting weeks to get your check from AutoStar. Sell your car online right now at AutoStarUSA.com.
Buy your next car from an AutoStar.
Vehicle must have a title at hand, signed, dated 5 to 24 hours from valid seller's agreement. Checks will be issued for vehicles in equity only.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate razor. While others need a Gillette anti-chafe stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up. Jeremy, do you ever get tired of me beating you week to week? Is that the question?
Well, you know, there's only one of us that's the reigning champion, so yeah. This is kind of like the. I'm going to make another comparison here and hope that National Police Chief David Zack doesn't take out his gun and shoot me. You were the Buffalo Bills at picking games. You win a lot of games until she matters, and not so much. He laughed. I'm safe. Not gonna lie.
I wish I could deny it. I wish I could deny it.
Not gonna lie. There was a little grumble in my stomach when I said that. They went, "This could be it."
Sounds to me like that nervous chatter right before the trigger gets pulled. But that's just me. What do I know? We're playing Beat the Chief with Asheville Police Chief David Zack. Brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt, Zack of eXp Realty. Go to ClarissaSellsWNC.com if you're in the market for a home. Nobody can get it sold faster for you or get you the best price on a house than Clarissa Hyatt, Zack of eXp Realty. Again, ClarissaSellsWNC.com.
This feels like rapid fire on poo water games.
It does, doesn't it? Because we've got the Grumper Bowl between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Chicago Bears.
You know where would be a great place for them to play that? The Cotton Bowl. It's the only word I can say like Pat Summerall.
Yeah. Las Vegas Raiders are a 2.5-point favorite against the Chicago Bears.
Raiders.
Damn right.
Raiders.
Yep.
I was just waiting for you to breathe so I can say Raiders.
Raiders.
You're playing something called a Tyson Bagent at quarterback, which I'm pretty sure is in the Weasel family. I think that a Bagent, as I've heard it called over the last few days, that's like gopher, groundhog, Bagent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. Give me the Raiders. And I don't care if they play Aiden O'Connell or Brian Hoyer or Ken Stabler or Jim Plunkett or Josh McDaniels. I don't care. Raiders by a lot.
Yeah. Sad state of affairs when you got me just not even thinking about it.
I'd have to
Raiders. That's Raiders all the way. All right, we are across the board on that one. So Chicago by 2 field goals. Las Vegas minus the 2.5 for all of us. Cleveland and Indianapolis. Cleveland Browns minus 3. Cleveland. Indeed, another full sweep.
This is a week where you got a few games that don't really require a whole lot of, hey, let's talk about the best defense in the NFL since 1971 against Gardner Minshew.
Yep.
End of analysis. Repeat the line.
Also, you do have Deshaun Watson possibly coming back. He was practicing today, so that makes it even worse for the Indianapolis Colts.
I don't care if they were playing Deshaun Kaiser again. Cleveland Browns.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting a Deshaun Kaiser reference today.
I got a weird brain, Tank. I got a weird brain. I forget what I had for breakfast, but you give me a mediocre second-round prospect, I'll remember him until the day I die.
Christian Hackenberg. Washington Commanders minus 2.5 against the New York Football Giants. Chief?
Do we get another week of Taylor?
I think so.
Let me see. If
I'm not going to lie. It didn't phase me a drop.
Don't care which one.
Nope.
No, I'm taking the Commanders.
As am I.
Yep.
The biggest drawback of Washington is that they allow everybody to get after the quarterback. Well, so do the Giants, and they actually have guys that can do that. So, Commanders. Another one. We just did 3 games in a row that combined I thought about for 11 seconds.
If Daniel Jones does play, he is listed as questionable for this game, but if he does play, he's still not going to have an offensive line. So
Correct.
I do not care if he's going to play or not. But it looks at the moment that maybe he could play. But this is Washington. It is not close.
Agreed.
All right, final 1 o'clock game. The Detroit Lions and the Baltimore Ravens.
This is a game that did require some thought.
Absolutely. It's in Baltimore. Baltimore is a 3-point favorite. And I'll give you my knee-jerk reaction to this is Detroit. Detroit plus the 3 because I don't really buy into the whole Baltimore thing right now. I mean, I believe that is a talented team, and yes, you've won some games this year that have been tough ball games, but there's just something about the Detroit Lions that they are rolling at the moment. And I think that they are going to be able to win a very close one, very gutsy game. I think we'll come away from this game looking at both of these teams going, these two teams are legit contenders. Like, we know that Detroit is one in the NFC. I think this is also a game that, regardless of whether they win or lose, they'll do enough to prove to you that Baltimore is in the AFC as well.
I personally love that you just did that because I am taking the Baltimore Ravens. I don't love Jared Goff outside. I never have. I was torn on this game all week. And then I finally looked at myself in the mirror and I said, self, now self, when AFC teams play NFC teams, what happens? NFC teams get beat. I hate having to give a field goal. I would, if I'm betting this game, I'm buying that half a point to get it to 2.5 because I think Baltimore wins on a late Justin Tucker field goal. Give me the Baltimore Ravens.
I'm on the Ravens as well.
Okay.
I think the Lions run out of steam a little bit this week.
Okay.
Now look, I still love the Lions.
Love the Lions.
I do.
Love them.
I think they're one of the best teams in the league. This game, to me, means more to Baltimore because you cannot afford to lose games like that. You can't lose games at home in the AFC in the most competitive division in the NFL.
Concerned about the travel, though.
That's kind of where I'm at. I don't love Jared Goff on the road. I've hammered this for years. It has made me a lot of money. I know he's playing in a different way, and Ben Johnson is a different coordinator. I just think Mike McDonald is too. Now you got to understand how killed this defense is. They're the second best defense in the NFL. And if it wasn't for Cleveland having a historic start to the year, they'd be 1. I just think they conjure up something. I really do. I like Baltimore this week.
I just keep going back to, is that because they're that good, or is it because of who they played? Is it because of the matchup that they've had? Right?
You can play that game with virtually anybody.
And, yeah, I get it. But this is going to be the toughest test they've faced so far this season. And I wonder if it's stuck in anybody's brain how the last one went when Detroit came to Baltimore. Because that 66-yard doinker.
Well, that was in Detroit, not Baltimore.
I thought it was in Detroit.
No, it was in Detroit. It was in the dome. It was in Detroit. You said the last time they came to Baltimore.
Oh, I thought they were. Never mind.
Yeah,
I thought
it was in Detroit.
Baltimore.
No,
whatever.
it was in the dome.
Okay. Well, still. It was the last time you guys got together. You missed the 66-yarder barely.
1 year
lost
ago.
you the game.
1 year ago. Trust me, I almost said that when I gave up Baltimore. It was on the tip of my tongue, and I went, it's not the better of the 2 points.
All right, that's the final one in the 1 o'clock slate. Jeremy and the Chief on Baltimore minus the 3. I'll take Detroit plus the 3 on the road at the Ravens. We'll get into the 4 o'clock slate next here on ESPN Asheville. Play and beat the Chief with Asheville Police Chief David Zack. Brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt, Zack of eXp Realty. Go to ClarissaSalesWNC.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Still cranking out some raindrops into the afternoon and early this evening. If it's Friday night football, just some isolated showers are possible. I think most of us are dry and not much rain at all. If you get a shower, it is not going to last long. So still a thunder shower left over this afternoon, a little breezy, highs in the low 60s. Tonight, small chance of a shower early, breezy and chilly overnight, 43, 30s in some spots. Sunshine comes out tomorrow and Sunday, highs will be in the mid to upper 60s. Ray Stajic, the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Fall into a hiring spree with Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry, with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Have your outdoors and running water, too. With Luxury Lou, the tasteful solution to portable bathroom rentals. Family-owned and local, Luxury Lou Rental provides modern bathrooms on the go with running water, AC and heating, flushable toilets, and elegant designs. Luxury Lou's are perfect for weddings, corporate events, remodels, and more. Don't leave your well-dressed guests to use a dirty porta-potty John.
Ew.
Turn to Asheville natives. Luxury Lou. Visit LuxuryLousRental.com.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
At Ingalls, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zack with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Play and beat the Chief here in the Sportsocracy with Asheville Police Chief David Zack, as we do every Friday. And it's brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt Zack of eXp Realty. Go to ClarissaSellsWNC.com. And Chief's already said the best way to start your Sunday morning, 11 a.m. on News Radio 570 WWNC. Clarissa explains real estate every Sunday morning at 11 on WWNC. It's the only way that the Zacks start their day on Sundays. So you should do the same.
Sound advice.
Yes, exactly. Let's get back into picking the games here. Each and every game in the NFL against the spread. We've got the LA Rams and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
This one was hard for me. It's still hard for me.
It's not for me.
Oh, trust me, I know which way I'm going. It's just I don't feel awesome about it.
I mean, I kicked it around in my head a little bit and went, do I feel like Pittsburgh can really score with the Los Angeles Rams? And that's where I stopped. And I went, no, I don't think they can. I don't know if they can.
Oh, so you're taking the Rams?
I believe I am.
Oh, God, that makes this way easier. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Why?
That defense against Matthew Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Cooper Kupp will get his. Puka Nacua will get his. Mm-hmm. I feel like the Rams are still a little bit of fool's gold because I look at who you've played, and I have a narrative for every bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
I will also say this is going to be a road game for the Rams. You mark my words, this place will be every bit as loud as it was for the Chargers on Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Pittsburgh home game. They win.
All right, Chief?
Tank, I'm with you on the Rams.
Thank you.
I think they're one of the surprises of the league this year.
No doubt.
And I agree with that. I do. I agree with that.
They're far better than we thought they were. Pittsburgh, I think we thought was going to be far more competitive than they are, and that offense has got awful.
Yeah, the offense is terrible for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I give the defense its flowers. It's going to be a challenge, absolutely, but I don't understand the blanket statement of because it's Matt Stafford against this defense. Matt Stafford has been great this year.
The offensive line is not as good as it is being made out to be, and I will give you two lines just for you to marinate on as we move on to the next game. Mike Tomlin coming off a bye, AFC teams against NFC teams. All year long, if it's close, the NFC team gets smoked.
I thought this line would be higher. I thought this would be around 5.
I did too, to be really honest with you.
Yeah.
I did too. I thought I would get over the field goal, and as soon as I saw it, I went, "Yeah, this is." I'm going Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I thought about it longer than I wanted to, but then I did that mirror. Listen,
4 or 5, I would have gone the other way.
I
would have as well. It's the fact that it's 3.
I feel pretty safe with the 3 because I think if Pittsburgh loses, they lose field goal at the horn.
No doubt. No doubt. Great chance for a push in that game for all of us.
And I don't love pushes.
The Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. Seattle's at home, and they are an 8-point favorite. Chief, you want to break the ice on this one for us?
Didn't like the number, but no James Conner?
Nope, he's on IR.
I think that's all I needed to know on that one, is that Arizona's going to have a hard time scoring. Seattle, though, what's going on with Geno? He's exactly who we thought he was, right?
He does seem to be regressing in certain ways back to not Jet Geno, but he's also not what he was last year. He's fine. I will say the same thing about Geno Smith that I said about Baker Mayfield. He's fine.
Yeah, I think that's.
He is nothing
on
to
his
write
best
home
day.
about.
On his best day, he's fine.
Yeah.
No, I'd say on his best days, he can still be that top 3, 4, 5 quarterback in the NFC like he was last year.
I was going to say like he was.
On his on the average day, which is what I've seen a lot of, and I don't care about the PFF grade or any of those things. He's one of those. Just watch it, and you tell me that you're seeing the same quarterback because I'm not.
I don't believe in Arizona, not even kind of a little bit. I don't even, and they've shown up in some games and played better than we expected them to. Obviously, with the win against the Cowboys, everybody kind of took notice of, oh God, these guys aren't just laying down in every game. But I feel like they kind of are at the end, right? They'll play with you for a while, and then at the end they'll be like, oh wait, I forgot, we don't want to win this game, and I think Seattle will run away with this one. In the end, it'll be close for a while. It could even be. I wouldn't even be shocked to see an Arizona lead at the half, and then you just get smoked in the end by 2 scores.
This is another one that I feel like I can almost call my shot of how this game goes. The over/under on this game is 44.5. There is a lot of money on the over, and I don't really get it. I don't think either one of these teams are going to score easily.
Mm-hmm.
Late backdoor cover for the Cardinals. I'll go 17-13. Cardinals kick field goal late. Maybe even kick 2 field goals late. Try to do the onside kick thing. Seattle recovers it. It's way closer than it's supposed to be, but 8's a lot. Give me the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay. All right. I'm on Seattle minus the 8. Chief, you're on Seattle minus the 8.
Yep.
All right. Jeremy going out on his own on that one. The Green Bay Packers and the Denver Broncos.
This line is dumb, 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 da-dum, dumb, da-dum, dumb, da-dum, dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I find it really funny that Pittsburgh is not getting the credit for coming off a bye, and I feel like Denver is. Sean Payton's going to work his magic. I didn't think about this for a tenth of a second.
Nope.
Green Bay Packers by $1 billion.
Yep.
I'm with you guys.
Yep.
That's not a good team, and I don't know why Vegas keeps falling for this. I really don't. They have to be getting absolutely bled like a catfish by the Denver Broncos, and they keep doing it. Denver's 0-5-1 against the spread this year. And yet they have thrown the dumbest number in every week they played in this year. I've never seen anything like it.
Yep. We're all on the Green Bay Packers minus the 1.
And when I said bye, I mean the mini bye because they played on Thursday. So you get the little half week. It's not a full bye, but they seem to be getting credit for the long week. That's how I should have phrased that.
Or are they getting credit for holding the Kansas City Chiefs to 17 points?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I have no idea. But I would love to know from an actual legit bookmaker, how much money have you lost on the Denver Broncos? Because it's got to be absolutely mind-boggling.
Yep. That's a 4:25 start in Denver. We also have a 4:25 start in Kansas City as the Chiefs take on the Los Angeles Chargers. It is the Chiefs minus 5.5 against Los Angeles. And
I've already said where I fall in.
Yeah, you're going Chiefs minus 5.5.
100%
Didn't even
I
think
am.
twice about it.
Didn't think twice. I don't think this is a well-coached team. I think Andy Reid is going to toy with them because this is you're a narrative guy. I'm not. I'm X's and O's guy.
Yep.
But there still comes the point of you've got Kansas City with the same thing Denver got. The Chargers are on a short week coming off Monday Night Football. That's worth 3 points in and of itself to me. Kansas City's at home. That's worth 3 points in and of itself to me. The Chiefs are 4 points better than the Chargers on their best day. This number should have been 9.5. You missed this by 4 solid points. And the reason they're doing it is it's a rivalry. This is the way it always goes. They always play close. I get it. I 100% get it. It's going to cost you a lot of money. A lot.
Chief, where you at?
I'm on the Chiefs as well. The thing is, but the Chiefs offense, they're kind of like Buffalo, where you just, who shows up on what day. But I think they show up this week.
Yeah.
And I keep looking at this, the same thing I said in the last hour of Andy Reid's hearing this. Andy Reid's hearing this. Pat Mahomes is hearing this. This is I'm not going to say a statement game, but if you look up and down the schedule, you're going to get a lot of eyeballs because you're contending with two interconference games and one divisional game that nobody expects one of the other teams to win. So where are all the eyeballs going to go at 4 o'clock?
No doubt.
This is almost like a primetime game because you have the window to yourself. So if you want to come out and shut up a lot of people, this is a great time to do it.
Yep. 30-27, 27-24, 34-26, 34-28, 30-24. You see a pattern here. That's how these games go down. Now, Jeremy, you said earlier you don't trust the Los Angeles Chargers offense.
I at this point, if you can't see a difference, you're giving me, because the scores you just gave me would have to have gone back 3 years.
Yes.
If you're not seeing the difference in where this team is at right now in the last handful of years, nothing that I'm going to say right here is going to sway you in any way. I just watched them play the Dallas Cowboys, who had one player that I legit felt like was an advantage defensively. They couldn't score. The Kellen Moore thing's not working. I thought he was going to have a big effect on Justin Herbert. He was going to come in here and throw for some stupid amount of yards. And maybe it's the hand. I don't know. But that offense looks clunky. And with no Mike Williams, I'm not scared of any of these guys taking the top off. Quentin Johnston can't catch. There's never really been a rapport between Herbert and Palmer. I could have taken any of these things in a vacuum, and that would have been enough for me to lay this number. You put all of them together, it's one of my biggest bets of the weekend.
Yep. I just give you all of those scores to show you that, yeah, I mean, historically, or at least the last 2 years, and you got to go back like 5 years to get even two games between these two that were over one-score games. I'm with you on the Chargers. I believe less in the Chargers this year than I did last year. I believe the Chiefs are going to cover this number. I'm on the Chiefs minus the 5.5, but I still think this is going to be a close game.
Oh, wait, so you're taking Kansas City?
Yes.
That was a slow roll to... Hey, let me analyze all the reasons I'm going to take the Chargers. Kansas City Chiefs.
Nope.
What the...
Nope, you tried to jump. You're trying to jump narratives on me there. All I said was I think this is going to be a close game.
It'll be within 7.
It'll be within 7.
I will say it's Kansas City 34-20.
Full 2 scores. All right. Sunday Night Football this week. Miami and the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia is a 2.5-point favorite at home.
Unequivocally the most interesting game of the weekend. College, pro, high school, peewee, intramural. This is the most interesting game in all of football this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how Philadelphia's a 2.5-point favorite. This feels like one of those times that Vegas is going, do it. I want you to do it. And I'm going to fall for it.
Yep.
I am. I'm going to fall for it. I'm taking the Miami Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to fall for this. Hook, line, and sinker.
As am I. Because I can't look at these teams and look at Philadelphia in the way that they have played, and they have not looked like the team that they did last year, right?
The defense doesn't look right. The offense doesn't look right.
Right. There's something off about that secondary. There's something way off about that offense. The new scheme that they've got is just the new scheme that they've got with Brian Johnson just is not working. And
look, there are some guys in this league
out against the Dolphins.
There are some guys in this league. That's what they do. I credit Brian Johnson with a lot of the growth that has happened with Jalen Hurts, and this is. I'm glad you said that way because it gives me the opportunity to say something I've wanted to say for a long time. Chief, you ever gone viral?
Have I personally?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I don't recommend
my
it.
agency has.
Yeah, I meant you personally. I meant something that your phone directly rang 1,000 times an hour.
Oh, well, yeah. But again, it wasn't me personally.
Yeah, we did this.
Yeah, we had some stuff going on in 2020.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I was also asking, do you have a social media person? And if so, could I possibly get their number? Because might have some contract work for that person. I've been hammered for saying that Jalen Hurts didn't benefit from Lincoln Riley. If you don't get watching the film on him, that he came into the league as a broken toy, and that's exactly what he was. He had an elongated throwing motion. I saw no high-level quarterback in Jalen Hurts coming away from Lincoln Riley. Who fixed it was Shane Steichen and was Brian Johnson. Now Brian Johnson's calling the plays. And it almost feels to me like you had an elite play caller, you had an elite quarterback coach. Now you have a mediocre coordinator, and I don't see anything happening from the quarterback's coach. It's like you bumped everybody up a seat, and nobody was ready to sit in that chair. And Jalen Hurts is regressing every week. I said this from the start of the season. And last week, he lost you a game with a throw that no quarterback can make. I don't care who it is. I'd have railed on Pat Mahomes for throwing that ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Mike McDaniels is going to screw your defense. I don't like any of it. I think this is where Philadelphia gets unveiled. Miami Dolphins.
All right, Chief, what do you think?
I'm going against both you guys on this one.
Indeed.
I'm going out on the Eagles here. After that loss last week, right, I think Hurts gave you that Josh Allen game
Yep.
Against the Jets.
Yep.
And We saw how he bounced back. I think Hurts does bounce back. This is also for Miami. You saw how they played against the Buffalo defense. So I think this is probably one of the better defenses they're going to play. Buffalo was able to figure it out. I think Philadelphia does too. I think it's about a 23-20 game.
It's a little bit of a narrative for me too, because Miami's heard that, well, you've only played one good team and look what happened. Yeah. Hey, y'all, watch this.
They're good.
Yep. Yeah, I was very tempted to be on the Philadelphia side with you, Chief, but in the end, I just don't think they can outscore Miami.
I don't either.
I think that's what this is going to come down to.
I don't either. It comes down to Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson against Mike McDaniel in a game that I think is going to be a track meet, because I don't like the defenses to stop either one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a drastic advantage in play caller.
All right, finally, Monday Night Football this week. The San Francisco 49ers with apparently everybody playing. The last I saw, they were expecting Christian McCaffrey to play. They were expecting Deebo Samuel. They're expecting Trent Williams to suit up against the Minnesota Vikings. And, okay, it makes it easier for me to go San Francisco minus the 7.
Okay, that sounded like a period at the end of that sentence,
yes,
which means I can talk now. San Francisco by 497. Primetime Kirk Cousins against the 49ers coming off a loss. If you're squeamish, you should probably take your wife to dinner during this game, because this is going to be like one of those torture scenes in a movie where you go, oh, God, could you stop, please? Because I'm getting uncomfortable. I genuinely think this could be 42-6.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
And Kirk Cousins has one of those games where you go, oh, yeah, Kirk in primetime. He's bad. Good
He
Lord,
struggles
he's bad.
with Justin Jefferson, and without him,
what do you think?
That offense is not good.
No.
Hey, but they got Alexander Madison and Cam Akers. Does that make you feel good?
Woo! You mean they don't have Kenny Nwangwu?
They still do. He's special team.
Oh, wow.
They got Jordan Addison and KJ Osborne and Brandon Powell. Let's go. Bye.
Yeah.
Killed.
Yeah.
LMNO demolished.
Yeah, we're all on San Francisco. All right, so we shall see how it all turns out. Beat the Chief, brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt Zack of eXp Realty. Again, check her out at ClarissaSellsWNC.com for the season. I got the 1-game lead on Jeremy. Jeremy's got a 1-game lead in second place on Chief Zack. We're all right here together.
You know what that means it's time for.
Yep. I smell them.
Bangers.
Coming up next here on ESPN Asheville. Chief, we always appreciate it.
Fun to be here, guys.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned in one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Are you a student ready to embark on your journey towards financial independence? Hey everybody, it's Chris Angel from Mountain Credit Union. Trailhead Student Checking is a high-dividend checking account designed exclusively for students aged 16 to 23. Your path to financial freedom begins at Mountain Credit Union. Start building a solid foundation for your future and enjoy the benefits that come with being a part of the Mountain Credit Union family. Rates subject to change, restrictions apply. Visit mountaincu.org or stop by any of our local branches to learn more. At Mountain Credit Union, we're here for you because we're here with you.
Western Carolina Orthopedic Specialist is a proud sponsor of Tuscola Football, and we know your health means everything, so it's important to get the care you need when you're in pain. If you suffer with knee, hip, shoulder, or other joint pain, Western Carolina Orthopedic Specialists can connect you with a healthcare provider who offers treatments and solutions. Don't make your health wait. Visit us at westerncarolinaortho.com or call 828-452-4131. We get you back in motion.
Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Hall of Famer and all-time leading rusher with exciting news.
Football legend Emmitt Smith talking about all new regenerative treatments for joint pain from the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics.
But did you know that you can encourage your body to actually heal itself with the help of QC Kinetics?
QC Kinetics uses biologic therapies that are natural, restorative, and long-lasting.
The body is an amazing thing. Trust me, I put mine through a lot.
Exciting new relief is here for pain from arthritis, knee pain, lower back pain, pain in your hips and shoulders.
I'm that guy. When you Google shoulder pain, my face pops up.
But you don't have to be sidelined by pain anymore. Call QC Kinetics to learn more about biologic therapies.
Don't let your joint pain keep you from doing the things you love. There's a new natural solution that patients are raving about.
QC Kinetics.
Let QC Kinetics help you improve your quality of life.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
This week in the Buncombe County Game of the Week, it's the conference title showdown in the MAC. AC Reynolds at TC Robertson. Both teams are undefeated in conference play. The winner will be in the driver's seat for the championship. Bojangles Countdown to Kickoff show starts at 6:30 with a kickoff at 7. On AM 1400, Tuscola, coming off their big win against Pisgah, is on the road at Smoky Mountain. Cowboy John Roden and the gang hit the airwaves at 7. The best high school football coverage is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
Coffee's the closers, homie. Get them the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
For there to be a favorite in this segment, you know it's got to be one I like a lot. Number 13, Ole Miss is a 6.5-point favorite at Auburn. How in the world do you think Auburn is going to score with them? I get that Ole Miss's defense is terrible. Auburn's offense is terribler. This is the dumbest number I have seen in a long time. Give me Hottie Toddy minus 6.5. But that's not what you're here for.
Underdog, 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 underdog.
Speed of lightning, roar of thunder. BYU's a 3-point dog against Texas Tech. Hey, am I the only one that knows Texas Tech's quarterback got hurt? Because this is now 3 weeks in a row I've picked against you, and I've made, I don't know, the salary of a middle school teacher for over the last 2 weeks. I'm just going to keep doubling down on this. Give me the Cougs plus 3. Rocky Top, baby. Play it. Do it. Tennessee's a 9-point dog at Alabama. I'm not saying Alabama loses at home. They could. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they can't score. Joe Milton can score. That Alabama defense is not as good as people think. They were unveiled last week against Arkansas. Give me Rocky Top plus the 9. Utah's a 7-point dog at USC. And every time I say that out loud, it never stops being funny. I just watched Notre Dame beat you to death. Utah's defense is every bit as good, if not better. They'll do the same thing to Caleb Williams, and I'll take all you trolls and answer you one by one because he picks apart bad defenses and loses to good ones. And finally, the game of the week. The Penn State Nittany Lions. They're going to unveil Ohio State. Kyle McCord's not a good quarterback, and you're getting ready to see it. This is the coming out party for Drew Ayler. Give me the Nittany Lions plus the 4.5. I'll take them in the money line. They went outright. Take those wagers to betus.com. Use our promo code Sportsocracy to get a 125% deposit match and up to 30 risk-free bets so you can wager football with us all season long.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Still cranking out some raindrops into the afternoon and early this evening. If it's Friday night football, just some isolated showers are possible. I think most of us are dry and not much rain at all. If you get a shower, it is not going to last long. So still a thunder shower left over this afternoon, a little breezy, highs in the low 60s. Tonight, small chance of a shower early, breezy and chilly overnight, 43, 30s in some spots. Sunshine comes out tomorrow and Sunday. Highs will be in the mid to upper 60s. Ray Stajic, the weather.
It's bigger, better, and bubblier than ever.
Carolina Cider Fest returns to the heart of downtown Asheville on Saturday, October 21st. Now at McCormick Field. Sample the latest and greatest hard cider, mead, apple wine, and seltzers while enjoying artisanal food, live music, and fascinating workshops. Get your tickets before they sell out at CarolinaCiderFest.com. That's CarolinaCiderFest.com.
63 Americans a day die by gun suicide. By storing our guns safely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo, we can give our loved ones a second chance at life. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Swing and a line drive, base hit, center field. Racing home is Payman Smith. Ketel Marte and the Diamondbacks walk it off. And Arizona is back in this series. The Diamondbacks win it 2-1, and this series is now 2-1.
You're listening to The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
It is The Adam Gold Show. How are you, everybody? It is Friday. Congratulations, you made it. I'd like to congratulate everybody for negotiating the week.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little, the week's a little longer than other weeks.
Yeah.
So.
Especially if you work weekends.
Yeah.
Am I working tomorrow? Yes, that's right. I'm working tomorrow.
Right. Well, and you just went to sleep like 2 hours ago anyway, so.
Kind of close. It was more like 10 hours ago.
Yeah.
A little bit less than 10 hours ago. But yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
As my old college buddy Scott Van Pelt likes to say, I'm not tired yet.
Right. All right.
I will be in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Then I'll need all the caffeine in the world just to get home. But that's all right.
That's okay.
The Hurricanes lost last night. We'll get to that. That we started off with baseball because maybe Rusty is also kind of bummed about last night's Hurricanes loss. How is it that the Phillies didn't hit like 6 home runs?
It's ridiculous.
I thought it was automatic.
I know. Yeah. They have like 20 people on their team that can hit home runs.
I don't even know. Kyle Schwarber not hit 2.
Nothing. Nothing.
My gosh.
Yeah.
I guess it happens. Every once in a while, you become human.
You have your off days. They just wanted to extend the series a little longer.
More baseball is good.
Yeah.
Just like Houston has done. Well, that series is now 2-2. We're going to talk to Ryan Fagan actually in a few minutes. He covers baseball for the Sporting News. Opens up baseball cards, packs of baseball cards, just kind of sits around and opens them up.
That's all he does.
It's great, man.
Yeah.
I'm an adult.
It's a good living.
He's an adult. But man, he has found that niche. I've said this before. Every time that Ryan does that, like he'll come on the show sometimes and I joke and he'll open up a pack of baseball cards and he'll tweet it at me. And then my timeline is filled with people talking about baseball cards for like 3 days.
Right.
For like 3 days. That has not happened yet. But we are going to, we have our mailbag segment today. We're going to go into mentions. We got a lot of stuff. We're going to have a listener pick football games like we have done in the past. I'm going to make you earn it.
Yeah.
We will choose a contestant by having them answer like quiz questions.
I'm ready.
And you have to go 3 for 3 we sort of grade on a curve.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, so we have to go 3 for 3 to qualify to make picks, and then all you have to do is beat me, and I'm bad at it, so it's not a big deal.
And you get swag.
Yeah, and you get. I don't know. I actually have to find out what we have.
Yeah.
I think we still have Arctic tumblers.
Yeah, well, probably. We'll see.
So we'll
that
go
closet,
down.
You never know.
I'll bang on Brianna's door and we'll see what she throws at me.
Yeah.
Could be anything. Could be a paperweight.
Well,
get out of here.
It's not like scissors or something.
Wow.
Or something that's we don't want to hurt you.
The paperweight would hurt.
Maybe soft. She'll throw T-shirts.
She'll throw a Nerf football at me. All right. About last night.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Yeah. Let's get it started.
I saw the uniforms. It said Canes diagonally across the front. It's white, red, black trim. I recognize most of the players, but these Canes do not look like the Canes that we are used to. And the numbers are alarming. Defense so far has been a 4-letter word. Let me give you some numbers, and then you'll hear from the head coach, because Carolina was right there last night. Again, so far, Carolina's scoring plenty.
Yeah.
Right? 4.6 goals per game. If I told you that the Hurricanes were going to score 4.6 goals per game, you would say, oh my gosh,
They're winning all of them.
All of them. They're 5-0.
Yeah.
5 games played. 4.6 goals per game. Now, the record ain't terrible. It's 3-2. But they are allowing 4.8 goals per game. Hey, let's kick out the 3 empty net goals.
Yeah.
They're still allowing 4.2 goals per game. The penalty kill has not been good. They've allowed 6 power play goals in, I believe, 23 chances. That's significantly better success rate against than 25%. And last year, in terms of grade A chances, that's the way Rod looks at it a lot, scoring chances for and against, grade A scoring chances according to Natural Stat Trick, Carolina was, by a lot, the best team in the NHL. Most grade A chances for, least by a substantial margin, whatever I just tried to say. Grade A chances against, best percentage in the NHL. And now they are underwater. 47%. It's
not good.
It's bottom half of the league.
Yeah.
Again, 5 games, very small sample size. But even one of the games they won, they were dominated, right? They were dominated by the Kings in a game that they won. And last night, after falling behind 3-1 and 4-1 after 2 periods, Carolina really started to play well early in the third. They got it to 4-3, and then they gave up another goal. And after the game, Rod Brindamore on that.
Well, we got back in the game. Give the guys credit for that, you know. And then, again, the same things. We're not sharp defensively right now. We're just taking little breathers, and it's just killing us. So, strange, because it's not, you know, like I said, we've been doing this for a long time and doing it really well. And this 5-game segment is just, we don't have it figured out, which is, you know, we got to get better at it. We're scoring enough. We're getting enough chances. We're going to create offense, but we're definitely giving up way too much.
Yes, way too much. In amongst all of it, Antti Raanta hasn't been good. I think Freddie Anderson's been fine when he's healthy, right? I think Freddie's been very good. You can look at statistics and say, well, Freddie's struggling. No, Freddie's not. Freddie's fine. Antti has not been good.
He is not.
And he was pulled, and I suggested Walt Ruff, Hurricanes.com guy. He came on the first intermission with me. My last question for him was, would you authorize a Pyotr Kochetkov start the second period move?
Yes.
And I put that on Twitter or X, whatever it is. And, yeah, 1 goal too many. Right? Antti was not great. And he hasn't been. And I think you could tell that he's kind of fighting his confidence a little bit. And like every professional athlete deals with, he's going through it right now.
Yeah.
And 1 bad goal can throw you off. And I think the bad goal he allowed really in his first start. He kind of battled through that game, and Carolina was okay. Well, actually, they lost that game, but he came back. I guess that was the Anaheim game where he gave up a really soft goal. They ended up losing 4-3. Look, or 6-3. This team needs. It can't afford soft goals. Just can't. I thought Pyotr Kochetkov came in and played well last night. I think he did. I know he allowed 2 goals in the third period, but I think he did. Dmitry Orlov struggling right now. And it's understandable because it's a new system. He is not blessed with phenomenal foot speed. Can be a problem. Might be a problem, to be honest. We don't know. But right now, the adjustment is not going well. I think you'll see more Jalen Chatfield with him. I think that has to happen.
Yeah.
But it's just hard. He's minus 10.
It's not
It's
good.
hard to be minus 10 with the Hurricanes in 5 games. Really hard. It takes some effort. Goaltending, again, I just talked about. Seth Jarvis, however, is playing very well. Jarvis playing well. I think Kokaniemi is playing well. Teravainen is, there's a lot of guys who are playing well, a lot of the forward group. And I think Slavin and Pesce and Shea are all playing well. Brent Burns has been a little hit or miss. He was culpable maybe on the goal that made it 5-3, that really not put it out of reach, but just restored that 2-goal lead. And then I think Carolina just was mad, and they just kind of, the next goal happened 21 seconds later.
Yeah.
Just a transition opportunity. Like, what are we doing here? How did this happen?
So deflating.
So, it's not good. But Jarvis kind of summed it up for everybody last night.
Just how we sucked the first period and a half, basically. You can't spot a team 3-0, 3-1, expect to come back in this league. So, we got a lot of stuff to figure out, and it starts in our own end.
I've got some thoughts about 2 roster spots that might need addressing, and we'll get to that in a little bit. All right, so Ryan Fagan, by the way, is going to join us in about 5 minutes. The University of Michigan is back in the crosshairs of the NCAA. I mentioned this briefly yesterday. And again, it's for silly stuff. Like the last, Jim Harbaugh's kind of ignored some rules, but they're all kind of weird things that he has ignored. I think the one that he's in trouble for with the NCAA is practices during COVID. Right? It's just something like, what's dumb? This stuff you shouldn't really be, dealing with. In the NFL, you are allowed advanced scouts. Every team has them. You send your scouts to a game between the Patriots and the Jets. Why? I don't know. Those teams aren't necessarily worth watching, but you send it.
Why not?
The Dolphins send a scout to that game.
Sure.
You get to watch both teams play. That's not allowed in college football, mostly for cost-cutting reasons, but that's not allowed in college football. What else is also not allowed is any electronic surveillance of things like signals on the sidelines. And at the University of Michigan, they have hired an ex-Marine who has no football background as an analyst in the football program.
Interesting.
Yes. And he has been discovered, doing what the Astros did by stealing signs using video.
Yeah.
What the Yankees and Red Sox both accused each other of doing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, boy.
Jim Harbaugh says he doesn't know about it. I have no idea. Here's ESPN.com's Pete Thamel.
Well, Jim Harbaugh served a 3-game suspension this season. That was a school self-imposed suspension, Kevin. Schools tend to self-impose on the lighter side. That means he still has some exposure in the recruiting allegations in which he allegedly lied to the NCAA or misled the NCAA. So Harbaugh still basically has some punishment left. Now, this leaves him with some exposure to potentially things that happen in his program. Now, he denied knowledge of it today. We want to be very clear about that. But there are coach control rules of things that happen in your program that you're presumed responsible for. So Harbaugh now could be looking at a double whammy from the NCAA if these allegations of sign stealing and opponent scouting in particular prove to be true. And most importantly, the NCAA can prove them.
Yeah. I'm all for getting an edge.
Yeah, just not a good look.
So that's Jim Harbaugh. Then
yeah,
it is Jim Harbaugh. All right, real quick before we get to Ryan Fagan, here's your ACC weekend. We got Boston College and Georgia Tech. Just don't. You don't have to, so don't. That's at noon on the ACC network. Pittsburgh at Wake Forest. Bless you, Demon Deacons. Bless you. 3:30 on the ACC network. Virginia at North Carolina on the CW. I think it's right after episodes of Moesha. I don't know. What else is on the CW? I don't know what's on the CW.
I don't know. It's a good question.
6:30 on the CW. North Carolina should blow Virginia out.
Mm-hmm.
To me, the line seems low at 23.5, but who knows? I should contact my friend Chip for the Chipolytics.
I know.
Duke at Florida State. third consecutive game in prime time for the Blue Devils, and they are a ranked team, as they have been. 7:30 on ABC. We still don't know the status of Riley Leonard. We won't know until, probably about 7:30. I'm sure that he will be on the field, air quotes, warming up. If I'm going to guess, I'm saying he's not going to play.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't play, Duke's not going to win the game because they need his big playability running the ball to, I think, soften up Florida State's defense. And you're not getting that with Henry Beal in the fourth. But I do think Duke's defense will keep it close.